hey, we put a bullpen guy basically in the starting rotation, and he's a fiery guy with a lot of confidence. Fastball can be up. I mean, as he's a starter now, it's in that 94 to 98 as a reliever. And then Coach John said he might even touch one of those 100 miles an hour, 6-pitch mix.
Yeah, it's a lot of pitches, but just we'll get to it as the game goes on about that transformation from being a guy that comes in who's going to throw 25 pitches to a guy you want to throw 100 pitches.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you have to pace yourself, especially when you're thinking, hey, can I get to the 5th, the 6th, the 7th inning with my pitch count, but also just energy and emotional things, the toll it can take on you as a ball player.
On the other side, when you look at the Sooners, we'll look at their lineup under the direction of Skip Johnson in his 8th year as the head coach. Easton Carmichael's been a good player for a long time. He does so many different things. Not only is he good behind the plate, but he's good offensively.
And to me, that's what makes him special, right? He is a great catcher behind the plate, but look at those numbers, 10 home runs, leading the team in RBI and home run. And that's something one of my catcher, look, care about defense, but this is a guy that not only cares about defense, but also gets it done on the offensive side as well.
We're about ready to go. Glad you're with us. First of 3, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday at noon Eastern time. As both teams come in 10-8 on the year. You look at both of them, the number 1 RPI in America are the Georgia Bulldogs. Road game for the Sooners. And we're about set to go. First pitch in there for a strike. Tomorrow's game just was informed that has been moved up because of weather in the area. It is going to be a 1 Eastern time start. So try to get this within. A lot of weather in the area. We were delayed for about 15 minutes. That pitch misses upstairs. It's 70 degrees. There's rain in the area, no question. Very humid, 87%. A light wind tonight out of the west. And it's a good ballpark to hit, but no wind blowing out tonight.
And every pitcher said, oh, thank you very, very much.
Pitch catches the outer half.
Because you're talking, it is a great ballpark to hit in, but when the wind is blowing out, it's almost one of those where you're like, gosh, Coach, I have a little strain, right? I can't pitch, and but we see the flags just laying down right there. That's a good sign for the pitchers.
Reminds me of a ballpark I played in called Wrigley. There were days when you wanted to go hit. There's no doubt about it. The 1-2. That ball in the dirt, back to the screen. And it's 2-2. I really picked your brain on the mentality of being a guy that's been asked to get 3 outs. Most of the time closers are asked to get 3 outs and then making that transition into starting. It's a mindset.
Yeah, I know what you want to say. Closers are a little crazy.
That's
what you kind of want to say. But yeah, they do have that, fired up mentality when they go on the mound, and it is different, right? When you're thinking, hey, I have to keep all the energy inside, because as a 1-inning guy, you can go expend everything and realize, hey, when I get out there, I'm not going back out. I don't have to worry about it. But when you're a starter and you know, hey, I got to go out there every inning, try to pace myself, it's a different mindset, especially with a guy who wants to get out there and throw as hard as he can.
The payoff. Just got a piece of it, keeps the at-bat alive. Trey, the left fielder. 336 on the year. He's homered 3 times. Driven in 19. Guy at the top setting the table here, just underway. Game 1 of this 3-game set. The payoff. Foul back again. There's nothing fancy about that. That's just good old-fashioned hardball.
That's what you want to see, right? You got to throw strikes. Don't want to obviously get a leadoff walk, especially leadoff of the game. And so when you're thinking 3-2, your best pitch is a fastball. Go ahead and challenge him. And that's exactly what he did with that 97-mile-an-hour heater.
We'll do it again. Straight away in the outfield, straight away in the infield. 7th pitch misses inside for ball 4. No leadoff walk by the Sooners. Jackson Willits will step to the plate.
Absolutely perfect at bat right there for Gamble. You got to see multiple pitches, but also made him throw more, right? 7 pitches in that at bat. and does a good job of laying off the pitch. He wants you to go up there and chase it, and you're expecting fastballs, so you're going to be a little aggressive, and right there is a good job taking it.
He also will run. He's 10 out of 11 in the stolen base department. The Sooners will press the envelope if they have a chance. Shot foul for strike one. Willits, you can see his numbers on the year. He's had a good year. Sophomore veteran shortstop. Curley set. Throw over. Campbell slides back in, and I noticed how he slid past the bag. As much moisture as we had coming down, sliding on synthetic turf sometimes can be, you can go too far.
Right, but you're talking two teams now. Oklahoma has the same thing. They play on full field of turf, so they should understand what the wet turf feels like. You just start sliding a little bit earlier.
Pitch misses inside.
Something OU does, though, at the plate. Really disciplined. Their approach, they take a lot of pitches, and so if you're not in the strike zone, you're going to look up in the fourth inning, and you're going to be in that 85 to 100 pitch count just because they do a good job of taking those close pitches and spoiling the ones that they feel like they can't drive and then getting themselves another one.
The 1-1 in the dirt. That ball gets in. Good throw to second base. They got him. What a nice play by Hunter Henry. Behind the plate, 2-6 on the putout. On the ball in the dirt, that was anticipation. Campbell thought he was going to get there because of the ball in the dirt.
You're right, he sure did. I mean, it's a great dirt ball read. Sometimes, though, the luck's not on your side, and, yeah, you see a great block, puffs right into Henry Hunter's hands and throws a strike to Kobe Branch. That's a big pickup for a pitcher after that leadoff walk.
Well, the pitch was a ball. So it's 2-1 to Willits. And it puts you back into the windup. Do you feel more comfortable in the windup or in the stretch?
Absolutely, the windup. I was definitely a guy.
This left side.
When a guy got to third base, that's where I would love. I was always going back to the windup, you know, because that's where you feel comfortable. But coach is always stressed. You have to get comfortable in the stretch because the biggest pitches of a game are usually made in the stretch.
The biggest pitches of the game are made in the stretch.
True.
Solo homers don't beat you very often.
Well, I got a story for that for you.
2-2 to Willits. Starting to lighten up here. We've had rain off and on since about 4 o'clock Eastern time. Breaking ball, chop foul. And that's your point right there, Lance. Fighting off tough pitches with 2 strikes.
Right, just think about it, though. If they don't get thrown out, now you're talking you're 12, 13 pitches deep, still don't have an out, right? Obviously, you can get a double play, but I'm telling you, this Oklahoma lineup, that's just what they're trying to do. Because the nature of the beast is you want to get the starter out as quickly as possible, especially on a Friday or opening night of the season, the series, right?
The 2-2 again. Breaking ball just misses. And the count goes full again. Second 3-2 count to start the ball game. 15th pitch of the game coming. The payoff. Did he go? Yes, he did. How about a 3-2 slider for the strikeout?
Nice pitch, and you can see the speed of the velocity, you know, that he throws at. The fastball's so hard, you got to gear up for it, and you're thinking 3-2, that's what he's going back to, because that's what he did the first batter. And all of a sudden, that ball just absolutely falls off the plate. Little check swing, strikeout.
Easton Carmichael steps in. 325 on the year, 10 homers. He's driven in 45. Sooner catcher. This ball hit well to center with some carry, but it'll stay in the yard and put away. And it's a 1-2-3 inning, even though there was a walk involved in the inning. Nothing. We go to the bottom of the first. And are ready to go, and he is about as good as you'll ever see anywhere in the country when you look at Kyson.
Yeah, this is the twin brother of Malachi. Both these guys will pitch, but Kyson is at the top of the league. Like you said, Keith, might be the #1 right-hander in the country, future top 10 pick in the draft. The stuff is just crazy. It's elite stuff, but I love the command too. And I think it's so smooth. The mechanics are easy. The delivery is repeatable, and I think that's what scouts just fall in love with, because he does not look like he tries to throw the ball very hard, and it comes out 98 miles an hour, and he's got all the pitches it takes.
I just think the fact is that it's not max effort. It's just nice and smooth.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing is you go, hey, if I'm drafting this guy this high, can he fit into my big league rotation, and how long can he be healthy? And when you look at a guy that doesn't overthrow and it's not max effort, you're going, hey, this is a guy I think we can keep the injuries away, and he's going to go out there and just compete.
Only 12 walks on this season with 84 strikeouts. And that's pretty impressive. Now, you look at the Bulldogs in this ballpark, they have been exceptional offensively.
Well, Coach Johnson talked about the backdrop of just the green trees, everything. Their motto is, right, feed the trees. And this is a very experienced, senior-laden offense. Has 6 seniors in the lineup, and Slade Alford is that leader. And you see right there after last week in a Vanderbilt, even though the team had a tough one, Slade Alford had a good one, 2 home runs and that 357 average.
Kobe Branch will lead it off. One of 2 brothers in this ball game, one playing for each side and on the field at the same time. It's pretty cool. We've seen the Branch family and all the different colored uniforms, combined colors.
All we need for him is to hit a ground ball to second baseman, and we can talk about it a little bit more.
Yes, we can. The Sooner right-hander set. He steps in, chops this ball foul for strike one. You look at that, came off of Carmichael, and he is taking a little time here, but take a look. This is what the report looks like.
Well, when you talk about a guy like this, we talked about the elite stuff, it's up to 98, right? 5-pitch mix, the command's there, 12 strikeouts. And it's not just throwing strikes, he commands all the pitches in the zone, but I love the workhorse. You give him the ball as a pitching coach, you're sitting back, and Coach Johnson, cross the legs, watch your guy. He's going to be in the 6th inning, 7th inning almost all the time.
Pitch misses up. Count evens at 1-1. Well, college baseball, those that are fans know that it's weekend or 3-game series. Obviously this one tonight, tomorrow afternoon moved up to 1 o'clock, and then Saturday at noon Eastern time. You just look at those, it's a 3-game set, and it sets the table when you have a good Friday night guy. It sets up the rest of the weekend.
Oh, so important, especially you have a guy like I just mentioned, the workhorse, that you know is going to pitch you deep into a ball game, and when he leaves, you're going to have the chance to win, right? Might not be winning, but with the 7-2 record, a 2.48 ERA, he's left most games with the lead.
Popped up right side. Will it stay in the ballpark? Over to try to make the play, and does make the play. It's Taki for the first out of the inning. That's the way the ball game starts. Both pitchers right now can light up the radar gun.
That's what it's turned out to be. Pretty much everybody on that opening day start in the SEC, and they're all touching 96 plus. We got 2 guys that can start flirting with 100.
Alford's been on base in 26 safely, 26 consecutive games. We highlighted him in the open. He's the guy that's been setting the table. But he's been driving in runs too. 12 homers, he's driven in 44. You have a guy that can hit the ball in the ballpark because the guy behind him can really hit the ball in the ballpark.
The next 2, right? But that's what you talk about the whole lineup when you start saying 8, 12, 16, 17, 8, 9, 7, 10. Trey Phelps needs to pick it up. He's only got 5.
They have 105 homers as a team. That is a big number, and we're in April. Albeit you're coming to the second half of the season, but still, that's a bunch of homers.
Oh.
The 1-1. Paint outside corner at 96. It's not a lot. As an ex-hitter, there's not a lot, Lance, I can do with that.
Yeah, those are ones you just take and you say, hopefully you can't do that again.
Or try to foul it off. The 1-2. Downstairs. And it's 2-2. It's a humid night. It's nice temperature-wise, 70 degrees, but high humidity. Sun starts to peek out here at Foley Field. Ball back up the middle, into center for a one-out single.
It's a good piece of hitting right there by Alford. Down in the count, not trying to do too much. You don't see that a lot of times now, Keith, is, hitters don't really care about what's going on. They just take their swings and they get one right there. Alford does a great job of just keeping hands and shooting that ball up the middle.
Sabarowski will step in. Ryland, big, strong right-hander. Just some unbelievable numbers on the year when you just look across the board. As strong as any right-handed hitter in the country. Steps in from the right side. Swing and a miss. Challenged him with a heater. Hitting .385 as he steps in. 16 homers. He's driven in 55. Senior from Gilbert, Arizona. Throw over. Alford back in safely. How about an OPS of 1.365?
It's crazy.
That is crazy.
Second in the country with that number.
Chopped on the ground to third. To second for one. The relay to first in time. Nice play. 5-4-3. Twin killing. We go to the second. 0-0 ball game. Skip Johnson in his 8th season as the head coach, University of Oklahoma. 4 NCAA appearances. Runner-up in 2022. He's done an outstanding job as a skipper. The Oklahoma Sooners. He's one of those guys you can look. Their last championship, 2024. 41 NCAA appearances. Enos Seymour was the longtime head coach there. Was outstanding. A lot of those appearances into the NCAA tournament.
I love talking with Coach Johnson, Skip Johnson. Both our head coaches are last name Johnson, so we'll get that confused a little bit. But Skip Johnson, I love where he goes. Is like, hey, I'm a JUCO guy. That's what he always leads with. He's like, this is what we do. I don't care what it is. We can go out there, work hard, do all these things, do the things you don't think you need to do. That's just how I was raised.
Yeah, and attack the strike zone. That's exactly what Curry did with that first pitch to Christensen. Pitch upstairs. And it's 1-1. Sophomore from Mesa, Arizona. He's got a good eye. Does not go outside the zone very often. Off of the fist, humpback fly ball to third. Alford puts it away for the first out here in the second. That brings Jason Walk to the plate. Walk, the center fielder. As Walk steps in. Curley looks in for the sign and gets set. Pitch in there for a strike. Not a lot of movement. Were you a guy that moved around a lot after you delivered a pitch?
No, I like how he's doing that. Stay up on the mound, get the ball, get back to the rubber, breathe, get your sign. He's doing a great job.
Walk gets this ball well to center, but playable.
And that's what Coach Johnson
put away by Obi.
Talked to us about is, hey, we had to kind of control him on the mound because he'd come out there, extremely aggressive, a lot of movement, walking around, and just energy everywhere. And this is a good job of what he's doing right now, is just staying under control, doesn't look too rushed and everything. And he's basically controlling the game, everything you want from a starting pitcher.
Kyle Branch, Kobe's brother, second baseman for the Sooners, will step in. 2 outs and nobody on. Curley's first pitch, a good one. Both these guys lighting up the radar gun.
That's everything you want to do right there, first pitch. So outer third, trust your glove side, make a competitive fastball at the knees. Perfect job.
Downstairs.
Too often, though, I wish pitchers would stay with it, right? He didn't take a swing at it, so you know he hasn't timed it up. So go right back to it and see if you can get another strike. Maybe expand the zone a little bit, go more toward the black, see how far you can go with it.
The 1-1. This ball, breaking ball stayed up. Branch delivers a base hit. So one brother up on the other one. 2-out single.
Yeah, there's look big brother with a little smile on his face. He caught the ball from the outfield in the relay throw and kind of looked at him, gave him a little smile.
Taki will step in. Dayton, 5 homers on the year. He's driven in 26. How about that? Uniforms, half on each side. Four-game hitting streak now for Branch. He's been on base in all of the last 8 ball games. Junior from Fort Worth. First baseman will step back in. Just misses. Outer half. And the count evens. Everybody straight away, infield and outfield here. The 1-1. This ball hammered to right with some carry. Get out of town. Dayton Taki, and it is 2-0 Oklahoma. Sixth of the year. RBIs 27 and 28.
Okay, back-to-back hitters. He gets ahead, and then the next 1 or 2 pitches, middle part of the zone, Taki does a great job of just getting ahead of the bat alley. That's 96 coming in, 110 going out, and they got the Sooners on the board early.
Harris will step in. Wow, that ball jumped off the bat.
There wasn't a doubt it was hit hard enough. It was just, was it high enough to get out? Because he had a line drive missile.
Breaking ball in there for a strike to Harris. Comes in hitting 297, a homer. He's driven in 10. Right field tonight for the Sooners. All right, Psyche is the pitcher. Get to it after this 0-1 delivery. Tried to check his swing foul and quickly ahead. You throw a fastball you think's a pretty good fastball and the guy turns on it like that. What does that do to you?
Well, to a guy like this, I don't think anything, because he believes in his fastball, right? When you have that kind of arm, the biggest thing about it, you got to find the zone with the off-speed pitches, because then that makes the fastball even better, right? If he can start spotting the cutter and the curveball and the slider where he needs to be, not middle thigh over the plate, then that fastball, he'll get away with it.
Breaking ball just misses back door.
And it seems like right now the OU hitters, they see spin, they're taking no matter what, and then that puts them in a position where they're going, right, can't throw the breaking ball for a strike. They gear up for the fastball exactly like Taki did.
2 outs, nobody on. Back-to-back base hits. The second one leaves the ballpark. And the Sooners will play with the lead here. The 1-2. To center, playable. Over is Obi. And puts it away, and that ends the inning. But not before the Oklahoma Sooners take the lead.
Yeah, and this is where Oklahoma wants to play. They're very aggressive on the base pass. You get the lead, they can go, and this is how you get the lead. Dayton Taki gets ahead of the bat out, 110 miles an hour missile.
As we go to the bottom of the second, it will be 4, 5, and 6 due for the Bulldogs. This one comes set. First pitch, fastball, inside corner for strike one. Burnett will step in. He's a senior, North Carolina native. He's got 17 homers. He's driven in 55.
Keith, most impressive stat?
This ball hit pretty well to left, but will stay in the ballpark. Over.
And that's going down. It was 505 on base. Think about it. 50% of the time you're coming up to the plate, especially this late in the season. That's just crazy numbers.
That is a crazy number.
And it's not like you think a guy would has that kind of stuff, he'd be hitting, 415. He's hitting 330, 313, something like that? Yeah, 331. He's just been hit 18 times and a crazy amount of walks.
That's a good eye. McCarthy will step in. Nolan squares to bunt, pulls the bat back, pitches in there for a strike. Kalamazoo, Michigan native. Another one of those seniors. It's a very veteran ball club for the Bulldogs. Got it by him upstairs, and it's quickly 0-2.
Well, weren't we talking with Coach Wes Johnson about that pitch right there? That's the pitch that he wants you to swing at, and you guys as hitters, you think it looks so good, and it's just like a big beach ball up there, and then you that
can't get to it.
The velocity is just so good.
Again, another back. It's another one that's up there.
98.
Now, when you're down in the count, it's really hard to get to. But
right.
If you're ahead, that's even. You say, all right, he's coming with a heater. You see it, you try to get to it, and you just don't ever get on top of it.
Yeah, that's when I want you guys as hitters cheating, trying to jump all over it. You go Uncle Charlie coming at you.
We used to call we going hunting fastballs. The 0-2. Breaking ball just misses. That's a great location there from the Sooner right-hander. That's a good take, a tough take.
That's where I think hitters have gotten so good. They are able to take that pitch. That's a 90-mile-an-hour cutter that had a bigger break, almost looked like a slider. And he's able to lay off of it, especially 0-2.
This one rifled back up the middle. That's a good at-bat right there. Second hit of the ball game for Georgia.
Okay, if you want to show, hitting 101 type things, he goes up there, chases when he shouldn't, fouls another ball off, so he's down 0-2, right? Doesn't beat himself up, takes a good pitch. This time that falls up in the zone, gets on top of it, shoots it up the middle for a knock.
That's a good at bat. Daniel Jackson will step in, the right fielder.
Yeah, those are the ones as a pitcher, man. You're just frustrated because you're like, I had that guy set up, and I just didn't execute the pitch, and he did, and he got you.
Georgia native, sophomore, will step in. Throw over. McCarthy back in safely. Chop foul. The other interesting thing for a team that has got 105 homers, they are 50 of 56 in the stolen base department.
That's when you pick your spots, be aggressive, but you know when it's a good time to run. I wouldn't look for them to run right now, being down. That's probably something more when they take the lead, put a little aggressiveness on it.
This ball hit on the ground. This could be two. Second for one, the relay to first. 6-4-3 and a beauty. And that ends the threat for Georgia in the second. 2-0 Sooners. We will visit.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. A guy that pitches vertical gets a couple double plays, isn't it?
Oh, it's a beautiful thing, Coach. Talk a little bit about Kyson and just what he means, obviously, to you and the OU program.
Well, I mean, his mom and dad raised him, or his mom raised him, and it's pretty special, both kids. And he's such a leader. He goes about his work the right way. He's in there early. I mean, he's a constant worker, and he's a leader to the younger kids. That's what I'm more inspired by as much as anything. Not just he's a good player, he's a leader, and he talks to other young kids and helps those freshmen and sophomores out.
And then you get a big blow at early in the ball game. How important is it to play with the lead when you get on the road?
Oh, you know how important it is. I mean, it's kind of maybe take the crowd out of it a little bit, and it doesn't, makes the pitcher stuff better. I mean, Coach Garrido always used to say, man, your breaking ball and your fastball command got better when you got a 2 or 4 run lead.
Thanks for taking the time. Good luck the rest of the ball game. Thanks for visiting with us.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Justin Willis will step in. Skip Johnson in his 8th season as the head coach, University of Oklahoma. The 0-2 just misses. And it's 1-2.
I like how he said that. Stuff gets a little bit better when you get the lead.
Boy, I tell you,
It's just a confidence, it's a feel when you get out there and you know you're pitching with that lead. Now, the biggest thing is you got to be able to hold the lead when you go back out there, and Kyson did a great job of getting that double play ball when he needed to.
the 1-2. Upstairs. Count evens at 2-2. Well, if you know you can make a mistake to one hitter with nobody on and still have the lead, it is a little easier to pitch.
Well, you talked about those solo home runs don't beat you, right? I told you a little story. Solo home runs don't beat you except if you give up 5 of them.
Okay.
My second start in the big leagues, gave up 5 solo home runs, got the loss 5-4.
This ball hit pretty well to left with some carry, but able to secure it, put it away and left. Ralphie does a nice job.
Outside of the one to Christensen, when it was kind of on the hands, a little flop to third base, OU was putting a barrel to the ball.
So back to the top of the order. Campbell will step in. Walked. Was thrown out trying to advance on the ball in the dirt. His first time up. 5 fly ball outs for Curley. Usually guys that have that hop to the fastball get fly ball outs. Good breaking ball in there for a strike.
And that's exactly what Coach Skip Johnson was talking about. A guy that pitches verticals trying to stay up in the zone, to have 2 ground ball double plays is pretty special for him, because he's a guy that's going to see a lot more fly balls than ground balls.
The 0-1. Good pitch inside corner at the knees. It's quickly 0-2. Very calm, get on the mound, take a deep breath. And he's attacking even though he's down 2-0 here. Off of the fist, first base side for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone as Jackson Willits will come to the plate. There's just such a difference. I think the defense gets better, Lance. I know the offense doesn't want to slow down, but when you get quick outs and you attack the zone, everything becomes more crisp in a ball game. And I think it helps both sides, both offensively and defensively.
Yeah, I was about to say, especially on that defensive side of things, you got guys not standing, standing flat-footed. They're able to move around a lot, especially when you're staying early in the zone and you're getting early contact. That's the ultimate goal. Is you're in the zone, but you're getting that early contact within the first 3 pitches.
Good backdoor breaking ball for strike 1. Fouled off of Hunter. How about 11 batters faced, 11 first pitch strikes. That's filling up the zone.
It's important, and that's where, if you're Coach Wes Johnson and you're looking at it going, hey, he did give up the home run, but he's pitching a game that everything you want to. He's getting ahead, staying ahead. Now, a little bit of the off speed has been up and a little flat, not what you want to see. He hadn't had that put away pitch, and maybe that's his only adjustment he needs.
This one on the ground, right side, takes a weird hop, but stays with it. Short hop throw picked. And 1-2-3 for the Sooners here in the third. 2-0 Oklahoma. The other one, a second baseman for Oklahoma. How about interesting is that? You can see the 2 brothers playing together at Lovejoy High School, just outside of the Metroplex in Dallas.
Talk about
With their
happy.
parents.
Thinking about that as a family, right? I have a son who's a senior in high school, going to get a chance to play a little ball. And when you look at that going, not only have one son, but two sons, and then they're playing against each other. And so I love how they split the jerseys. They have a lot of family and friends here doing the same thing, cheering on both the boys. Yeah, you look all over the stadium and you see in the seats, there's, those split jerseys everywhere.
Bottom third of the order, Dew. Sort of unusual. Georgia has gotten a base hit in each of the first two frames, but a double play has ended both innings. So Sooner right-hander has only faced the minimum. Phillips steps in the DH. Atlanta, Georgia native. From the right side. Chased a high hard one, couldn't catch up to it, and it's quickly 0-2.
All right, so as a hitter, I'm thinking as a pitcher, I don't have to go back up there. I can, but now since that's the pitch that you've chased up, usually when a hitter chases up, I'm going to probably go down now and stay out of that same spot. Or with 97, 98, he'd go right back to that top of the zone.
Third hitter, he's been 0-2 on in a row. Breaking ball, there he goes. Changed eye levels.
That's what, I mean, when you see a guy 0-1 swing at a pitch up and out of the zone like that, he's basically opened up your whole repertoire. You can go right down like he just did. You could have gone right back up to it. I'll look to go right back to the fastball for Kyson right here and see if he can get that swing and miss at the top of the zone.
Long look, the 1-2. Way upstairs. And the count evens.
You got to give a lot of credit to Trey Phelps right here. This is, you put yourself in an 0-2 hole by chasing, and now you've battled back 2-2, even the count.
Still got to remain patient as a hitter.
Mm-hmm.
Outside with a cutter. And the count goes full. That's the first time. This mound, we talked about it, the whole field is all synthetic turf, including the mound. And you saw, for the first time, Witherspoon scrape a little bit about his land spot that time. The payoff. This ball hit well to left. Get out of town. Trey Phillips, his 6th of the year. .106 as a team.
Okay, this is a beautiful at-bat. He goes 0-2, fights all the way back to 3-2, knows, hey, I put myself 3-2, get the fastball. He does what you're supposed to do with a fastball. This is the guy hitting 190 in conference. You get him going in this Georgia lineup, which they expected him to be a middle-of-the-order hitter. This becomes a scary lineup, even scarier.
How about all 3 hits for the Bulldogs? The at-bat started 0-2. Turned into for 2 strikes and come up with base hits. Swing and a miss from Henry Hunter.
That last at bat was a pitcher trying to be a little too perfect on the put-away pitch. You know, the bounce the breaking ball, not a competitive pitch. Fastball 2 up in the zone, then all of a sudden tries to go back to a breaking ball and just doesn't trust it that it's good enough. He can keep it in the zone and then puts himself into a hitter's count. And that 3-2, expect a heater. Phelps knows what to do with it.
0-2 now. Sooners put the shift on in the infield. Ball back. Just remarkable to me, Lance, as a guy that played and gone to home plate a whole lot, that these guys get adjusted to 99 miles an hour, because that fastball is 99, and he had the barrel out in front.
No question, and I think it starts early because the kids at a young age are seeing harder pitches. I'm with you, Mr. Witherspoon. I'm walking off that one too. I feel like you thought that was a strike. Yes, Derek Malika, home plate umpire, said it was a little bit up. But these kids are seeing velocity in the higher velocities at such a young age. You're right, 99's nothing to them anymore.
This ball hit well the other way, right at the left fielder. Gamble puts it away for the 2nd out of the inning. That was a good at bat right there. Here's the Sunday night matchup. Bryce Harper and the Phillies take on Kyle Tucker and the Cubs in a series finale at the friendly confines at Wrigley. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, ESPN Radio. Our coverage begins 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific with baseball tonight. Sunday night countdown. 2 gone here, actually 1 gone in the bottom of the 3rd.
No, you're right, 2 gone. one out and 1 gone out of the park.
One was as Obi will step in. Senior from Nashville, Tennessee. Good slider, cutter, one of the 2. And it's quickly 0-2. Boy, we've said 0-2 a lot tonight from both of these pitchers. Homered 10 times, he's driven in 33. On the ground, right side, into right field. Really nice piece of hitting right there.
You always hear, right, see the ball deep, let the ball travel. Watch this. This is more of a defensive swing, but he just knows how to let the ball travel, put the barrel to the ball, and, man, you get yourself a knock.
Branch did everything he could do. He gained ground trying to get to it.
Absolutely. The guys want to go out there and want to get the head of the bat out, try to pull the ball. He lets that ball travel, and that's a situation where you know you're defensive because you got 2 strikes, and you just trust your hands, let the bat react, and there you go. You got yourself a knock.
Runner on first, 1 out, and back to the top of the order. Branch flied to center his first time. There he goes. Throw to second. Did he overslide the bag? Yes, he did. We talked about it earlier. What happens when the field turf gets wet?
And this is going to frustrate Devin Obi to no end because he had this bag. And he starts early. He just keeps going. I mean, that's what I said. You have to start early, but look how far he slides that momentum. And a great job right here by Branch. Look at, you see, at that last point, keep that glove on him. And Obi knew it, but you have a bag stolen that easy. It's got to be frustrating.
Pitches. 1-1 now. Wow. I mean, he had the bag easy.
Mm-hmm.
Shortstop steps back in. Good cutter.
That's nasty. 92 miles an hour with that much break. That's where you go, hey, I'll throw that pitch again because it's middle, and the hitter sees the ball come in middle. Last second, it just disappears.
The 1-2. Came right back with it. Just missed down, and it's the count evens.
But you can see Carmichael, the catcher, moves a little bit further away, right? So he, instead of sitting maybe outer third, he was sitting on the black. And so as a pitcher, you're thinking, hey, if I throw it there, it's going to break off, right? You still want to have that hitter thinking swing outer third, breaking it to the black.
Got him right there with that cutter again, came right back to get it. But the Bulldogs do get on the board. Third of the game in the books. 2-1 Sooners. Well, let's just take a look. If you're in the SEC, you're going to have a tough schedule, but none tougher than what Georgia's gone through here recently.
Yeah, I think they're in a 17 of 19 stretch after this weekend of top 25 opponents. And you just look at the RPI schedule right there. I mean, Georgia does have the #1 RPI, and that's how it helps, right? You win and you beat teams that are this ranked. But the schedule outside of next week at Missouri doesn't get that much easier. You got to go to Alabama, ranked number 18.
Yep.
And then even though they don't have a number by their name, Texas A&M at the end of the year right now is
playing
a team
as good a ball as anybody around.
Yeah, you're right. No one wants to play them.
Top of the 4th. We go to the middle third of the ball game. Curley's first pitch misses for ball 1.
Keith, I like to say about the league and the SEC, a lot of times it's where you play somebody and when you play somebody, right? If you have to play Texas A&M in this year, even though they were #1, you were hoping to play them early because they were scuffling. Same thing, Florida was scuffling. Now these teams, like, when you look at their record, you're like, oh, we should beat them. Well, no, they're still that good of a ball club. They just scuffled a little bit early, and now they're getting out of it. And so having to play them that last week of the season, that could be a lot because Georgia's playing for possible stay in the host consideration.
Absolutely.
A&M's trying to fight their way back not
Into
only
the tournament.
yeah, into the tournament, but also seeing how far they can go, climb up into a 2 seed.
The 1-1 to Carmichael. Just misses. And it's 2-1. Yeah, you get to that 1st of May date in the SEC. You've lined up. You're a veteran ball club.
Already, yeah. Those freshmen are not freshmen anymore, right?
2-1. Off of Hunter's mask. That'll jar you. It's like getting punched. I've wore those
when you don't even expect
tools.
It, right?
Yeah,
you're just like,
whoa.
What is that?
They say it's padded, and it is padded, but still, it jars you. Carmichael knows about it and sort of give that little time rest. Catchers take care of catchers. The 2-2. Fouled off, back out of play. .42 pitches. Both pitchers have been pretty efficient.
Right. Outside of that first 2 hitters for Curley, when he was at 13 pitches through the first 2 hitters, it's very economical.
The 2-2. Missed again downstairs, off speed. You think 89 is?
That was my good fastball.
I'm going. That's off speed.
Yeah, you're seeing 90-mile-an-hour changeups these days with some of the high velocity arms.
Third, 3-2 count. Foul back, and we'll do it again. Yeah, but I think it's all relevant as you're talking about. I think kids that are 15, 16, 17 in high school now are seeing velocity. So I just think it's a matter of people are bigger and stronger and faster.
I had a talk today with Matthew Maniscalco, former shortstop, Mississippi State Bulldogs, and he runs a travel organization out of Oxford, Alabama, and we're just talking today about that, and he said the same thing. The guys just see higher quality arms, and so it's like they're just fully used to it. And you go back when I was in high school, you threw 90, man, you were blowing hitters away.
Yep.
And now that's nothing. You guys see 95, and they're hitting it in high school because they see it at the high level in summer leagues.
Ground ball to short. That's the way the 4th starts for the Sooners. Sam Christensen will step in. He popped up his first time up. Pitching's like selling real estate. We've all heard that term. It's location, location, location. You don't have to throw that hard to be successful on the mound either. It's about where you put it and how you put it.
That's right.
How you deliver it.
But if you can locate it this hard, it makes things a lot easier.
The 1-0. Coming from the Georgia right-hander. Foul back out of play. Count evens. Foley Field, beautiful setting here. Campus at the University of Georgia. The trees in the background. It is a muggy, still night. Outside. These Georgia fans are people expecting to come to the game tomorrow. The game's been moved to 1 o'clock Eastern time because of expected weather.
Calling sick to school, no work tomorrow. If you can't, watch it on the app, right?
That's it. The 2-1. Outside corner. Evens the count at 2-2. Christensen steps back in. to first. Nice play. Cover. Do your job. 3-1 put out. Did you ever have a problem ever covering first?
No, this is something you practice every single day, fall, pre-spring, everything. Little 3-1 PFP. Nice job by Zaborowski. Makes the play first. Beautiful flip. And biggest thing about the pitcher, you got to hustle to get there. Then that allows you to break down. If you lollygag to get there, then you're all of a sudden catching it, trying to find the bag at the same time. But Curley did a nice job of getting to the bag, catching the ball, foot there.
So 2 outs here in the 4th as Jason Walk will step in. First pitch in there for a strike. We'll visit with head coach Wes Johnson, the Georgia Bulldogs. In the bottom of the 4th, pitch misses outside. Count evens at 1-1. Outside. 2 balls and a strike here. Chopped on the ground, foul. And the count evens. Sooners love to use their speed as a team. Good team speed. Had a lot of opportunities. Been limited to 2 hits, but one of them left the ballpark. Lead here 2-1. Hit on the ground. Going to be a tough play to his right, across his body. Outstanding play. Vernon to get an out at first base. Coach Wes Johnson in his 2nd season. 2nd time through the order for the Bulldogs. It'll be 2-3-4 due. This being set. First pitch just misses inside corner for ball 1. "27 consecutive games Alford has reached base safely." It's a pretty good number. That's why you hit 2nd in the order. Breaking ball, swing and a miss.
And that's why Zaborowski and Burnett, they're your best friend, because you get to get on base in front of them, they get to drive you in.
Had a guy named Sandberg hitting in front of me. That helped. Have a guy who's on base all the time. The 1-1. Just got a piece of it. And it's 1-2. Sooner right-hander. 7-2 on the year coming in. He's been a workhorse. The 1-2. On the ground to short. Odd hop. Well, it stays with it for the first out of the inning. Zaborowski will step in. Grounded into a 5-4-3 double play his first time up. Tremendous power for the Bulldog first baseman.
That's the perfect spot right there for a cutter. And that's 90-mile-an-hour cutter. Right above the knees. You see as a hitter, it's middle, then all of a sudden it's on the black, disappears under the zone, right under the bat.
Comes right back with it. This ball chopped foul. Now I'm going to ask you. Now you've thrown two really, really good cutters, and you got a hitter 0-2 and a good hitter. You got so many options here.
Yeah, to me, you're either going to go in, which most guys don't like. You're thinking, hey, you can't go into a big guy with power. You have to go in. So either go in, tie up the hands, or go right back to the cutter, maybe expand the zone a little bit more.
The 0-2 got him with the off speed, took something off. That was more of a curveball for the strikeout.
That was an absolute hammer, 80 miles an hour. And that's, to me, I can't remember another one like this. It's all been hard. It's all been the curveball. I mean, the cutter, the slider. He breaks off a nasty curveball, and you see Zaborowski. That's one where you're going, whoa, we hadn't seen that one yet tonight.
Yeah, as a hitter, you put your weapon away, tip your cap,
Yep.
Go sit down and say, well, he's got that too.
Yeah, you walk back to the, hey, watch out for that curveball now because it's a good one.
As Burnett steps in. Great power himself, made an outstanding play to end the top of the fourth. Slide to left his first time up. Witherspoon has 11 swing and misses tonight. That's another stat that people don't keep up with as much, but you can tell what kind of stuff you got by how many times they swing the bat and miss.
Especially when you see like the cutters we saw in the zone. A ball that's, to me, you want to say the mark of a good breaking ball. You throw a breaking ball for a strike that gets the swing and miss, right? A lot of people can get chases because the stuff is good, but you throw a ball in the zone, still getting a swing and miss, that's when you got a really good breaking ball.
The 1-1. There you go right there, 12th. And that's just the high hard one. You can see it.
I think that one was set up with the pitch before that. It was fastball outer third on the knees that Burnett fouls off, and then you get a guy that wants to see the fastball, and then you basically give him a little cheese. You dangle it in front of him. He goes right after it.
How about this stat? Here's another one. Of those 12 swing and misses, 10 of them have been in the last 2 innings.
Okay.
I mean, so getting stronger at this point of the game. He's got 50 pitches in the ball game, halfway to what everybody thinks is the number is 100.
Mm-hmm.
That can be discussed as well.
Can we wait till like in between an inning? This is shaking our shit.
Got it by him for the strikeout. Another swing and a miss. We go to the fifth, 2-1, Oklahoma. But all the runs have come. Lance, my ball's leaving the ballpark, and you can just see what these two guys have done. Throwing strikes, only one walk in the game. It's been controlled 60 feet, 6 inches away.
Yeah, the walk was the first batter of the game, leadoff walk, and then he gets thrown out, so basically they erased him, and Coach Johnson said it, right? You got an old-fashioned pitcher's duel, and guys are throwing strikes, getting early contact, everything you want to see.
Kyle Branch singled, scored ahead of Taki's 2-run homer. First pitch in there for a strike. He didn't know that Curley had been a closer. Watching him throw this game and how efficient he's been and not using a lot of energy, you'd never know he hadn't been a starter his whole life.
Absolutely. I think he's done a great job of doing everything that the coaching staff has asked him to.
Well, it's got up in the lights. Nobody can see it. As you saw at that time, Jackson, he looked up. It was at twilight. He didn't know where the ball was. Fortunately for Georgia, was in foul territory. That is a helpless feeling. You look up and you know it's your direction and you can't find the ball. 0-2 now to Branch. Downstairs. Branch family. It's hard to, they're looking for a tie.
Well, you're probably looking for a Georgia 2, wins, Oklahoma won. You let the older son get the series win because he's at home.
Okay.
But hopefully the young freshman gets a couple knocks. He's already gotten one. So that's kind of, you're just wanting the boys, right, to go out there and shine. At least have fun playing against each other. That's what you want to see.
You're right. 2-2 now to Kyle as he steps back in. Rifled into center field, and Kyle Branch is 2 for 2. Leadoff base runner for the Sooners. A little smile from older brother.
Especially since he hits it right past him.
Here's the difference maker in this ballgame. The man of the match for the Sooners so far as he steps in. Sooner first baseman. Homer to right. Ball came off his bat at 110 miles an hour. Swing and a miss on a cutter or a breaking ball for strike one.
Yeah, that's his slider right there, 82 miles an hour. I thought that's his best one he's throwing. That ball looked like right where the left-hander wants it, that happy zone down and in, and it just got under the barrel.
That was the 14th two-hit game of the year for Kyle Branch. That ball down and in. Nice play by Hunter to backhand that ball. Count evens at 1-1. Branch is 5 for 5 in conference play, stolen base department. Sooners like to run. Pick, swing and a miss on a good breaking ball underneath the hands. And it's 1-2.
Yeah, Taki's up there nodding like, yeah, I saw that. Well, that's 2 in a row you swung and missed that. And this is where you tempt him, right? The fastball, he absolutely got in there, right? You either go up or you go down on that fastball. Same exact pitch with that slider.
And back to the slider. Did he check his swing? They do not appeal. And it's 2-2.
Okay, that's as a pitcher. That's the frustrating part. You're going, I just made a nasty pitch. 1-2. He doesn't swing. First off, you think it's a strike anyway. Then he doesn't swing, and now you're 2-2. That's where, as a pitcher, you got to, focus up, not let that affect you.
Came back with the slider. Pull a foul. Left that one out over the plate a little bit. Didn't get it down on his back foot, but got away with it. 70 pitches now in the ball game for the Bulldog right-hander. Just misses inside corner. Boy, I like that pitch choice. Just missed with it. Fourth 3-2 count of the ball game for Curley. Chop foul. We'll do it again. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming. Branch was not off there. You got a guy that can strike you out. Sometimes you don't want to run into that strike him out, throw him out, double play. Not going. On the ground, right side. Vernon, what a play. Just gets underneath him, but no chance to round second and get to third base. But it goes as a base hit into right field and a couple on here for the Sooners with nobody out in the 5th. Burnett was there. It looked like he had a shot at it. It was going to be tough to get an out on it. That's going to prompt a visit here. Our NFL draft coverage continues tomorrow night on ESPN2, ABC, and the NFL Network at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. with the second and third rounds of the draft. You can always watch it on ESPN Deportes, the ESPN app, or listen to it on ESPN Radio from anywhere. Draft going on.
Big congratulations. Cam Ward goes #1 pick. Travis Hunter goes #2 to the Jaguars.
That's
They
a
traded
trade
up.
with
Yep,
Cleveland,
traded
right?
up. And then Abdul Carter with Penn State is a New York Giant.
Okay.
Patriots on the clock.
Patriots on the clock. First time either team, think about it. That's how good the pitching's been. First time either team has had a runner in scoring position tonight. As Harris steps in, tries to bunt. Bunts it foul for strike one. Offensive timeout here. You get 3 of those a ball game if you're not watching college baseball and understand that you can have 3 of these in a ball game. And there's always notes being taken by the umpires to tell you, oh, you've had 1.
That's a situation where Coach Reggie Willits is going out there. He's in charge of the offense. You know, you got first and second. That looked like a drag bunt from Harris. And he's like, no, I want you to sacrifice yourself. You bunt it good enough, use your speed to get a hit. But right now, go out there and sacrifice this one.
Harris does not have a sacrifice this season. He squares this time, pulls the bat back, throw back into second. How about brothers? That was close. Little brothers, they're going to bump each other, hug each other. Hey, the worst battles I've ever seen between two brothers.
Absolutely, right?
Now, they don't get in the way of it. 1-1 now. Harris steps back in. Squares early. Movement. Bunts it foul. Couldn't get it down. And 1-2.
You're exactly right, Bill Keith. We got little fight, just little nudges here and there, friendly taps. Kobe Branch as he throws it back, big smile on his face. I like how they're enjoying that, man. This is awesome, seeing those 2 guys play against each other.
You know they had this penciled in a long time ago.
Yes.
So 1-2. With nobody out here in the top of the 5th. Fastball way upstairs.
I wonder if there's any smack talk going on. Like, hey, I'm right here.
No,
I'm right
it
here.
is.
You don't look back here. You know I'm right behind you.
No doubt.
I mean, you see that all the time, right? Shortstop, the guy on base, they're communicating with each other. This is a little different when you're talking about brothers. What are they talking about?
He squares early. Don't think he's bunting, but he could be. Pulls it back. Breaking ball, slaps it foul. Just protective swing. Count remains 2-2.
Taki went 4-hole in the last at bat, and Burnett almost got it. There's a huge 6-hole if Harris is able to just slap the ball to where the shortstop normally would be playing.
Got him on a high fastball. He needed to strike out, and that's when he got it.
Good job by Curley. Just pitching around the bunt attempts and then knowing, going, hey, I got him 0-2. He's being aggressive. Expand the zone. Use that aggressiveness. Gets the punch out. That's 96. Look at it. Right under the letters. You can't get on top of it. We've already talked about it. Both these guys like to pitch up in the zone. And unless you sell out to get on top of it, you just can't catch up.
Willis will step in. Dawson line to left his last time up. Slider. Cued off the end of the bat, foul, right side. 80 pitches now with a Bulldog right-hander. The 0-1. Got a piece of it. It's quickly 0-2.
You see, when people wonder what does velocity do, that's the pitch, right? 94, 95. That ball is supposed to be outer third on the black, and it runs right back over the middle, about mid-thigh. You still get a swing and miss. Guys that throw 87, you don't get that one. That's the one that gets whacked, but that's where velocity helps you out.
Just gets a piece of it. That's a nice job of hitting right there. That's a tough pitch. Maybe even off the plate away that time. Remains 0-2. Curley comes set. Outside corner, gets the strikeout. Back to back. K's after first and second and nobody out.
A beautiful slider outside part of the plate. Curley knows it, spins around. Look at that. That's spotted up perfectly. And this is the confidence. We talked about it on the scouting report. Confident on the mound. You have to be confident if you're a closer. When you go out there with the stuff like that, it's easy to be confident when you got that kind of stuff.
How about to make that pitch, though, at this particular moment? You know, his pitch count's getting up. First time he's had 2 runners on in an inning.
And you want to see the dugout go nuts, and you start bringing some, right? This is where you can go, hey, how can defense and pitching bring momentum to the offense? You go out here and punch out this guy, 3 straight punch outs like you just mentioned. Once you get 2 guys on, you'll see that offense getting ready to hit.
This is upstairs, and it's 2-0. Hitters count now. 0 for 1. He walked his first time up. Takes it all the way, and it's 2-1. From the left side, steps back in. Downstairs, hitters count again, 3-1.
Well, he took that 2-0 pitch like he wasn't looking to swing. I don't think as 3-1 you're going to take it like that.
I work to get these counts.
Right. I mean, that's why I would have thought he would have, you know, come out of your shoes. 2-0, you're looking for that fastball. You put it right where you want it. So now 3-1, gear yourself up, ready to hit.
Downstairs, ball 4. And that's going to load the bases. Only the second walk issued by the Bulldog right-hander. This is pitching is cardiovascular, folks. And as a catcher, sometimes you're going out there, yeah, you're trying to get the bullpen finished, but the other part is let this guy go out and breathe a little bit and get ready to go and say, hey, we got one more out to get. If you can get us one more, get us in the dugout, we're very much in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that happens more often than not, right? Because you're just trying to break up the monotony of, hey, he keeps going, grab the ball, because Curley's a guy that you already mentioned, Keith, likes to work quickly, and so he keeps doing the same thing, and then all of a sudden you go, hey, like, I got to break something up.
Yeah.
Go out there, get him to take a breather. Hey, you go in, especially as a catcher, I loved it when he come out there. He instilled that confidence. Hey, look, you got him, right? The stuff is still good. You're hitting there. You're the catcher's job. You're pumping up the pitcher, making him believe in himself.
Willits takes a good swing, fouls it straight back. Jackson struck out and grounded to second. 0 for 2 as he steps in.
Jackson's having a great year. You can see that 329, 9, and 39, but bases loaded only at 125 this year. So something where a lot of times you'll see hitters just put more pressure on themselves when they feel like, hey, they can kind of have that swing that breaks the game open.
The 0-1. Upstairs, count evens at 1-1. I always felt as a hitter, there's more pressure on you pitching now than there is me hitting. Because you got to throw strikes here. Because if you throw 4 of them outside, we get a run.
Take them, right? You give me an RBI very easy, just up here watching.
Tried to check his swing, couldn't on a high heater, and it's 1-2. And Curley with a chance to get out of it here. 91 pitches under his belt. Crowd gets into it here. Big moment in this ball game right here in the top of the fifth. The 1-2. Right down Broadway and gets him for the strikeout. Strikes out 3 to end the inning. We go to the bottom.
Welcome back to Athens. We got a ball game, Keith. It's 2-1, Oklahoma with the lead, and this is how the lead was maintained. You got bases loaded last inning. Curley had already struck out 2, and you go 1-2 right down Broadway. 3 striking out the side. This is where, as a lineup, you're going, hey, look, my pitcher's out there battling. 32 pitches is what it took for him to get out of that. And you see right there, Henry Hunter loving it, fist pumping the pitcher as he gets the strikeout.
And you're pretty sure that he's done.
Yeah, well, 92, I'm thinking maybe he can go a little bit more. Probably done, though, just especially the energy he expended last inning. But, man, like you want to see as a lineup going, my pitcher was out there balling, out there grinding. This is where you want to pick him up. Get him off the hook for that loss.
5, 6, 7 due for the Bulldogs. First pitch swinging. McCarthy singled his last time up. These two right-handers have matched each other pitch for pitch, and we've had a ton of pitches above 95 miles an hour in this ball game. First ever meeting between these two universities. On the diamond. Foul back. Both of them have played good baseball for a long time. It's hard for me to believe they've never hooked up.
Well, I mean, you're talking about programs that have been around for so long.
100 years.
Man. You mentioned the Diamond, though. They did have an unbelievable ball game in the Rose Bowl that one year. I think it was 2018, I think it was.
It was a heck of a game. The 0-2. Just upstairs. And it's 1-2. If you're just tuning in, folks, all the scoring in this game has come via the home run ball. 2-run shot for the Sooners, a solo shot for the Bulldogs. This ball chopped on the ground. Sets his feet, long throw across the diamond, nice play. Willits does his job. Go to your right. Didn't allow that last at bat affect that first play.
Like that. That's 2 good plays so far from the defensive side for Willits. I like how he got around that ball, and as he was catching it, he had his momentum going toward first. Makes that throw a lot easier.
Daniel Jackson will step in. 0 for 1 as he steps in. Open stance from the right side. First pitch misses for ball 1. Kyson Witherspoon. He's been all as advertised tonight.
Absolutely.
Scattered 4 hits, surrendered a solo homer. This ball on the ground, back at the middle. Nice play to the right. Can he get it out? Outstanding. Angastar on that one. How about Branch saying, catch up with me, big brother.
Yeah, 2 for 2 at the plate. This play is unbelievable. Little backhand, the slide, but look at that. Gets to the feet quick and not only makes a strong throw, but it's absolutely perfect, right on line. Easy stretch, easy play. Having a day, Kyle Branch.
Oh, he is having a day. Yeah, that cracks a smile. Family likes it as well. Phelps steps in.
I can tell you no one likes it more than Kyson Witherspoon, though.
Yes.
As a pitcher, you get defensive plays like that. It's one of those special days where you're going, all right, I just trust it, right? You don't have to strike everybody out. You let guys put the ball in play, and they can make plays like that all night.
Young man has produced the only run of the game for the Bulldogs. Homer to left to lead off the 3rd inning. Ahead now 2-0. How about the efficiency of Witherspoon as well? This is his 60th pitch of the game right now. fancy about that except 97.
Well, we saw the sign, feed the trees. That first ball that Phelps hit, he didn't feed the trees. He hit that ball over the trees.
The 2-1. And he hammers this one into the gap in left center. This is going to be down for extra bases. And a 2 for 2. Ooh, almost overslid the bag. Second hit of the night and a 2-out double.
I can tell you one guy that's seeing the ball really well from Kyson Witherspoon. Had himself 2-0, gave up the 2-1, but right here jumps all over that fastball up in the zone, and that's saying something. He gets the hands on and almost slides past the bag, but he's having a little fun. I'm telling you, if he can get hot, because he's coming in hitting 190 in conference play, if they can get him hot, he's one of those guys that starts creeping up in the lineup, gives a little protection to Zaborowski and Burnett. Oof, scary lineup.
Hunter will step in. Tying run in scoring position here. Throw back to second. Back easily. Hunter lined to left his first time up. 7 homers on the year himself. Ball gets away, back to the screen. The wild pitch puts the tying run 90 feet away. Guy throws that hard, you just don't anticipate velocity being down. When I called a breaking ball, I knew that there's a great possibility it was going to be bounced, but you just don't anticipate the fastball being down.
Well, to me, the cutter, or it might be the slider, just throwing it that much harder, but it's coming in at 90-91, and it's got really good depth, and so you're right. But speeds at that high, it's got to be hard for that catcher to get his body, especially when he's expecting it, on one part of the plate.
Hitters count now. As Hunter steps back in. The 2-0. Upstairs, 3-0. This may be a pitch around situation here. Witherspoon's only walked 12 batters this season. I wouldn't lay one in here 3-0 either.
No.
Taking all the way, and it's 3-1.
Because that is something you've seen in the game change a little bit more. Guys get the green light with that 3-0, especially when a coach trusts his hitter that's not going to go up there and chase and get himself out.
The 3-1. Downstairs, ball 4. First walk issued in the game. Bulldogs have runners now at first and third. As Obi comes to the plate, he singled his first time up.
Keith, you mentioned pitching around, right? You would think so, right? You got the 8-hole hitter up, base open. Okay, 9-hole. Devin Obi's got 10 jacks. So it's not your typical 9-hole guy that's going to come up hitting 202.
Skip Johnson's going to go out, talk to his right-hander. Really good ball game so far. It's been dominated on the mound. These two right-handers have been outstanding. Tomorrow we have a trio of NBA playoff games. Game 3s. Celtic Magic starts at 3 Eastern on ESPN. Coverage of the Pacers-Bucks begins at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on ESPNU. And then the Lakers take on the Timberwolves. That tips at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific on ESPN. NBA playoffs.
Well, we talked about those pitches, right? You have to make one of those 5 pitches that kind of dictate a ball game. It seems like this might be one of those at bats that the pitch needs to be made or needs to be hit if you're a Georgia fan.
Comes set. Obi steps in. First pitch, nice block by Carmichael behind the plate. First real stress of the ball game for Witherspoon. Obi 3:08 on the season with runners in scoring position. Tying run 90 feet away. Off of his fist. That was a good location there.
Like you said, though, Keith, first part of the game where there is some stress, because you could look at Kyson Witherspoon and not know that it's this type of atmosphere, right? There's no stress in there. A guy just, and this is when you're, as a scout, you're looking at him going, all right, nothing's changed. He's still the same guy as he was in that first inning. Same stuff in the fifth inning. Still attacking these hitters.
89 mile an hour cutter. And it's 1-2. This will be the 70th pitch of the ball game for the Sooner right-hander. 15 swing and misses for the Sooner right-hander. Breaks early. Steps off, looks at the runner back to third. Didn't panic. Trying to get a balk there and didn't get it. But a stolen base and the go-ahead run into scoring position.
Yeah, it's a little first and third offense. You're thinking you can get a balk, but Kyson Witherspoon doesn't panic.
Breaking ball knocked down, and it's 2-2. Stress level has gone up a tick or two. Two balls and two strikes. Comes set. Obi steps back in. Upstairs. And the count goes full. The payoff. Strike three called. Went to the cutter and got the strikeout. Huge strikeout. 2-1 ball game. We go to the sixth. Now for the Bulldogs, J.T. Quinn, 6'6", 210-pound. Junior transfer from Tampa, Florida, transferred in from Ole Miss. And when you look at, we'll get to the numbers on Quinn in a moment, but just replay, I really like the way that Curley finished that fifth inning in trouble and found a way to get out of it. Really finished strong in the ball game.
Yeah, that's that leadership that he has, and that's why Coach Johnson puts him in, the Friday spot or the leadoff spot of the series, and he pitched his butt off and leaves the game with a chance for his team with the win. He is down 2-1, but still gave everything he had out there. Hands the ball to J.T. Quinn. Quinn's going to be a guy 92 to 96, so you're seeing some more velocity. Mostly slider, curveball, does mix in every now and then a cutter, but it's mostly fastball, slider, curveball.
He has earned a save, 0-1 record, 2.37 as we were showing you. 19 innings of work, it's only allowed 10 hits on the season while striking out 23. That's pretty impressive numbers for the Georgia right-hander. And he'll face the 3, 4, and 5 hitters here for the Sooners in the top of the sixth. Talk about all the offense at times in the SEC. Tonight has been pitching. First pitch swinging. Carmichael laces this one into the gap in right center. It's all the way to the wall. And Carmichael with a stand-up leadoff double. His 8th of the year.
Little welcome to the ball game. Hey, trying to sneak the fastball, get ahead early. Easton Carmichael jumps all over that. And you're talking a catcher, but he doesn't run like a catcher. He's got 3 triples. I was thinking off the bat, would he have a shot, especially, but with it being lead off, you don't want to make that first out at third base.
Christensen will step in. 0 for 2 in this ball game. He's popped to third and grounded to first. Good breaking ball in there for a strike from Quinn. At 6'6", right over the top. That's that angle that makes it hard.
Right, and that's what what you're trying to do as hitters. It's tough to hit that round ball, round bat, and then you create angles as a pitcher.
With that double, Carmichael has reached in 14 consecutive games. Count evens Christensen. Sooner DH steps back in. Had a good swing at a breaking ball there, and it's 1-2.
Keith, what's tough to see is you have a guy, you go fastball, and he gets beat early with the fastball, right? First one he throws, and then it's the next hitter, it's breaking ball after breaking ball after breaking ball. You see guys lose their confidence in fastballs just because they get hit one time.
Long pause, the 1-2. Does go to another breaking ball. Third time tonight that the Sooners in 6 at-bats have gotten their leadoff hitter on base. Had the first 2 on in the 5th. Came up empty. Trying to add to this 2-1 lead. Quinn's 2-2. Just missed inside corner. I like that location. Tied him up. He couldn't have got to it if it would have been a strike.
I like it, but not on the 2-2, right? Because now you're at a point where, hey, I went 3-2, so haven't thrown the breaking ball for a strike, knowing that this is probably a fastball hitter's count. 1-2, even 2-1 maybe.
Went to the breaking ball, chopped on the right side, bobbled. This is going to be runners at first and third. Tried to give grounded Ryland and couldn't make the backhand play.
Right here off the bat, this is one where I thought that Burnett might have had a shot. That's one where you wish you had eyes in the back of your head, but you're right though, he gave a little ground and just couldn't get that backhand where he needed to.
The miscue, E3 if you're scoring at home. Sooners have runners at first and third and nobody out.
Well, you saw Georgia have that first and third offense where they're trying to create some havoc.
Yep.
I would expect Oklahoma to do something very similar. Last time they had an opportunity, they were trying to throw down the bunt with Harris. Jason Walk handles the bat really well.
Christensen can run. He's 8 for 8 in the stolen base department. First pitch in there for a strike to Walk. Walk 0 for 2 is lined to center, grounded to second.
This is a spot where Oklahoma loves to do a delayed steal. Left-handed hitter at the plate, guy that can run, which means that's everybody in their lineup, but left-handed hitter at the plate.
Back-to-back good benders. And quickly it's 0-2. With nobody out, though, it's one of those things where you may not see that. You can see that later in this inning if nothing happens at the plate. Fastball on the ground. This could be 2. 2-1. No chance to get Walk going down the line. He can really run. But the Sooners get on the board, and it's a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, nice job by Carmichael to double. Then you get him over. Christensen got him over to second base, and then Jason Walk, you're right, Keith, too much speed, not hit hard enough, and once that ball got in on the hands a little bit, slow hopper to second baseman. Jason Walk knows he's going to beat that out and get the RBI.
You know Walk can really run, and he'll go at any time. 13 of 18 on the season. I suspect that won't be the last throw to first.
No, I don't think so either.
Branch steps in. He's had a big ball game. He's 2 for 2. He's scored a run. 2 singles. Breaking ball. Chopped on the ground. Comes down with it. Long throw across the diamond. Makes a nice play to get an out right there. As Alford went up. Had to actually come to the top of his jump and make a long throw to get an out. Walk into scoring position here.
Good
Will
play.
step in.
Good play by Alford to not rush because he was up thinking maybe there's a chance for a drag bunt, but makes the play, sets his footing, knowing that, hey, there's no chance for a double play, so getting one the whole way.
Bucky steps in. Dayton has homered in this game. 2-run shot. Back in the second inning. He is also singled, so he is 2 for 2. Both of those against Curley.
First one 110, second one 62, something like that. He rolled over, just happened to be in the perfect spot.
He crushes this one. Get out of town. Second of the night. And the Sooners get some separation.
So Keith, when they say drop the head, this is exactly what it looks like. Ball down in the zone. You see J.D. Quinn knows exactly his reaction. That was 109 off the bat, an absolute rocket. Have a night, Mr. Taki.
Taki just absolutely crushed that ball. Harris steps in. First pitch in there for a strike. And a 3 spot for the Sooners here in the top of the 6th. Foul back. Lance, there is no substitute in baseball for slugging percentage.
When you can drive in or run with no matter where they're at, and you can drive yourself in, you're right. You're going to get an opportunity every day of the week.
Well, 6 hits in the game, 3 of them for the Sooners have been extra bases, and 2 of them have left the park.
And when you talk about doing it with guys on base, right, it makes it a lot easier. And then you have a guy on the mound who you believe is, could be the best right-hander in the country. You spot him a 5-1 lead, you feel pretty good.
Quinn looking in, now set. The 0-2 again to Harris. Just gets a piece of it. Tools of ignorance. Hunter paid for that one.
Those are the ones, though, as fans and even everybody else, except the catcher and the backup catchers, because they understand it too, right? In about 2 pitches, everybody in the stadium and watching has forgotten about that. But not the catchers. They're still feeling it tomorrow and the next day.
He did go around, knocked down, tagged out for the strikeout. First strikeout. Sooners, though, busted open 5-1.
Brian Curley was good for Georgia, but Kyson Witherspoon a little bit better. Stake to the 5-1 lead. He has showcased fastballs up to 99. You saw the big old bender. He has the heater, and then look, little cutter. He's got it all. And this is one of those guys where you're going to see, is it top 5? Is it top 10? I guarantee you it's first round, though, and it's going to be upper first round because the stuff is there, the command is there. Everything, if you're a scout, you love to see from a pitcher, Kyson Witherspoon has.
And the other part of it, you being a pitcher and playing in the big leagues, you said to me right off the bat, is his demeanor. Just his demeanor on the mound. He gets the ball, gets ready to go, and attacks.
Well, I was always taught, if somebody walks up to the game and they haven't been here, right, they don't see the score, they see nothing. They just walk up and they see you. They shouldn't be able to tell you're up 5-1, you're down 5-1. It's the longest inning you've ever had. Like, you should just be that kind of pitcher to go out there and, like, let nothing phase you, because this game, even though pitching is not as much of a game of failure like hitting is, you're still going to have things go against you that you can't control. And if you control what you can control and go out there, and that's exactly what Kyson Witherspoon's done. I mean, he's going out there and just continue to pound the strike zone. He started off the game 9 of 10 first pitch strikes. He's getting ahead, staying ahead, and putting guys away.
He's got to face the top of the order here now. The 75th pitch of the ball game coming. The 1-1. Just misses inside. That third time through the order. I always felt like it's the toughest time through the order.
You just mentioned, or we mentioned earlier, right, the fastball in. That was the 1-1 pitch. I liked how he went in right there and went into the righty above the belt, exactly where he wanted to go.
Goes back with the cutter.
So if you look at it going, hey, that, you know, he fouled it off, everything looked like he was right there, but the pitch before that ties his hands up, even though it's a ball, but it puts in that hitter's head that he will come in here, and he's coming in with good velocity, so I got to be ready. And even though that pitch, the cutter wasn't quite on the black, he gets away with it.
The 2-2 to Branch. Crushes it to left. If it's fair, it's gone. And it hooks foul. Tried to come back in there again. Good hitters. Good hitters are still going to get the barrel to it sometimes.
That's right. And the ball's, it's in, but it wasn't fully in. But sometimes there's pitchers, you know, like, hey, if I get it this far enough in, he's going to have a hard time keeping his hands in and keeping it fair. And it looked good off the bat, but you could tell it was hooking.
The 2-2 again. Foul back at a good at bat here. Kobe Branch. 4 at bats left for the Bulldogs. First game of the opener at home. They've been on the road a bunch. Played a lot of good teams. This team's not going to lay down and quit.
Oh, absolutely not. Well, it's a lineup that believes that they're a bloop, a walk, and a blast to get back, right back in the ball game. And when you're talking about a team that's hit 106 home runs so far this year, that can easily happen.
2-2 got him with an excellent cutter. On the outer half, the 5th strikeout of the game for the Sooner right-hander.
And Keith, the best thing about Kyson Witherspoon is he can go to multiple pitches to get you out, right? This game, it's been a lot more cutters to get him out. There's games where he's already shown the big breaking curveball that, hey, if he wants to start flipping that ball in there, he can. And so having command of multiple pitches, you're talking 3, 4, 5 pitches to get you out. That's why you hear his name being talked about as a top pick.
He's been fun to watch. 80th pitch of the night coming. As Branch steps in. He has walked and grounded to short. Actually, it's Alford. Branch was the strikeout victim.
Another thing scouts like to see. This deep in the game, 80 pitches and still hit 98 on the gun.
Step in. If you look at the pitcher, it's active time, and I think that's what that discussion was. As a pitcher, you got to allow the hitter to get in and get set and look at you, but once you do,
it's time to roll.
It's time to roll. Breaking ball behind in the count. That'll freeze you.
The old backup slider that you always hear people talk about. Hey, best pitch in baseball.
You can't control it. I can't hit it. But you can't. You don't know when it's going to do it.
Right. You don't know when it's backing up, because the ones that don't back up, if it's those, you're asking, the catcher's asking for another ball.
Good cutter that time. Alford down now, 1-2.
And you're watching the guy just exude confidence, knowing how to make his adjustment, right? He has a backup one, and he goes right back to it, doesn't over-adjust, finds it, perfect pitch the next one.
One, two, downstairs. And the count evens. The 2-2. Did he go? Yes, he did for the strikeout. The 6th and the 3rd in a row. Getting stronger. Now is the Sooner right-hander.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was about to say, as we're entering the 6th inning, Kyson Witherspoon looks like he's settling in even better and getting stronger as the game is going.
Tough customer here. steps in. Chopper to third. Across the diamond. And 1, 2, 3. Go the Bulldogs in the bottom of the sixth. 2/3 of the game in the books. 5-1 Sooners. Standing 3 for 3 in the ball game. 2 homers. He's driven in 4 of the runs. We go to the last third of the game. 5-1 ball game. 5-6-0 for Oklahoma. 1-5-1 for the Bulldogs. Foul back. Willis steps in. He is 0 for 2. It'll be 9-1-2 for Oklahoma. TJ Quinn out for his second inning of work in relief. Upstairs. It's been such a well-pitched game for both sides. You'd say, what's 5-1, Keith? Why is it well-pitched? Climbs the ladder again, comes down with it, throw across the diamond in time for the leadoff out. But we've had such quick strike with the solo homer from Georgia, and then the Taki's 2-run shots have come quickly in
Right.
at-bats.
That's exactly right. They've come quickly, and you're seeing guys pound the strike zone, not too many walks. And the biggest thing is getting ahead, staying ahead, getting guys out. And that's what Coach Johnson, Wes Johnson, talked about in his interview is, hey, like, this is how you pitch a ball game. And you're right, though, even though it is 5 runs, it's been 2, really quick home runs by Taki with men on base. And other than that, they haven't really had offensive production.
Campbell steps in. He is 0 for 1. He's walked twice. Sooner left fielder. Ball in the dirt. There's no dirt here in the turf. Let's just say that was a worm killer, but there's no worms in synthetic turf.
I'm going to say they did a great job with the turf. A lot of times you'll see it, and like it just doesn't look like a ball field, but how they striped it, it looks like the grass had just been cut. The brown is the perfect color when you look at it. Sometimes you'll see the brown be a little different. Like, that just doesn't look right.
Sometimes it's a little too dark.
I love the Bulldogs on the other side of the foul line.
The 2-1. Laced into left field. Nice piece of hitting there. Going the other way on a breaking ball. So a 1-out base runner for the Sooners here in the 7th. Jackson Willits will step in. He is 0 for 3 in this one. How about that college softball game? Texas and OU. The SEC softball is really good too.
Everybody talked about when Texas and Oklahoma were coming into the league, it was all about football, right? I mean, that was the big blue bloods that you'd think and bringing in. Well, it made baseball a lot better. But there's 2 other sports that it made really, really good. That's softball and gymnastics.
Yes.
So you're talking, especially when last year, Oklahoma, Texas finished 1-2, and you're going, well, we're bringing 2 guys into the conference, and they're the best 2 teams in the country.
There's good softball. The 1-0. Laid off that breaking ball. Hitters count now 2-0. Jackson will step back in. Carmichael awaits on deck. Downstairs. 3-0 now. It is a humid night here. As we started the ball game right at 70 degrees, about 90% humidity. Game was delayed for about 15 minutes to start the ball game. That catches the outside corner. And it's 3-1 for The Sooner shortstop. Shot foul. I would think the runner would be off here 3-2. A little bigger lead. Long pause from Quinn. There he goes. Breaking ball. Yanked foul. We'll do it again, 3-2.
You see Coach Willits in that bottom right giving the signs. He's got the stopwatch. He's timing that pitcher every single one. Quinn's a guy that, big, tall guy, lifts the leg high. I mean, you already have a guy in Gamble that's 10 of 11 stolen bases, so you're thinking he can steal a bag anytime he wants and get a chance right here with a slow to the plate. Trust your guy at the plate.
Going again. Fastball's downstairs for ball 4. So a couple on here for the Sooners in the 7th, trying to expand on this 5-1 lead. Easton Carmichael will come to the plate. Doubled into right center his last time up. He's coming into the game. That's the 3rd walk issue. There is activity in the Bulldog bullpen. See the right-hander up and throwing. Hoskins. Carmichael will step in. Break a ball downstairs for ball 1. Sooners coming to the plate and getting ahead makes it tough to pitch when you're down in the count. Inside step move. Carmichael ready to go. Bender in there for a strike, and the count evens.
If you're going to pitch at a high level, you got to be able to do that. Pitch
1-0
backwards.
breaking ball.
Yep. You got to be able to flip a breaking ball in there and a hitter's count.
Just missed with the fastball. Stuff is really good. He's just hadn't been able to command his fastball enough in the strike zone.
That's where, as pitching, it starts, right? You think command the fastball, everything else becomes a little bit better. And if you can't command the fastball, then guys are going to start sitting on everything that spins.
At the end of the bat, foul. Good location there. And the count evens at 2-2. Make a good pitch here and get yourself out of the inning. Quinn comes set, checks the runners. That's a hard move to sell. If you're good at it, you can get some guys the inside step, but there's a lot of guys have a tough time trying to do it. Chopped on the ground to third. Only plays across the diamond. Does get the out there. Carmichael runs really well. Does get the out. A nice play.
Kind of touch back on that, Keith. It's because guys, I think sometimes they don't buy into it, right? If you're a pitcher, you have to make it look exactly like your motion, and sometimes guys will just lift a leg and spin instead of feeling like that's like practicing the fastball down away. That's like hitting off the tee. You got to go out there and practice your motion, because if that first lift doesn't look the same, you're not going to get the base runner.
Well, with 2 outs, you don't think teams will score. Oklahoma scored 4 of their 5 RBIs tonight with 2 outs. 2 outs here as Christensen steps in. First pitch downstairs for ball 1. He's reached on an error, 0 for 3 tonight. Sooners with a couple in scoring position, really trying to separate this ball game even more. Downstairs. Hitters count now 2-0. Quinn's 2-0 delivery. Breaking ball in there for a strike.
So Keith is a hitter. You thinking he goes 2-0 breaking ball, 2-1 another breaking ball? Because that's what I'm thinking as a pitcher. If I'm going to flip it in there 2-0, well, he goes heater.
Now, there's not enough, this is just my opinion, not enough what I call doubling up.
Right.
I think I'd like double up fastball here.
True. Because yeah, he's thinking, okay, he showed what he wanted to get you out with the curveball, because that's where he went to.
Went to the breaking ball, did check his swing, and it's a full count. That's the old pitch caller in me.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. I was just about to say the person calling the pitches will basically show you how they want to get you out early, right? Because especially when you're behind in the count, he's going to go to what he feels is the best, and that was a really good curveball. That was actually a better curveball than he threw 2-0. So a nice job for Sam Christian taking that one.
Breaking ball dropped in there for the strike and the strikeout, and Quinn gets out of the inning. 7th inning stretch time. Sooners up by 4.
Ballpark. I actually love this. I mean, the last time I was here was 2002. This is all new, obviously, and look at those seats behind home plate. That's some quality seats.
Outstanding facility here at Foley Field. First pitch misses upstairs. Burnett will lead it off. Kyson Witherspoon has just been spectacular. His 87th pitch of the night here in the 7th. Shot foul. And the count evens.
Kyson Witherspoon's been up to 100 once, went over 100 one time against Mississippi State back late March. He went 100 at LSU in April, but it's been 90 plus almost every single outing. It actually has been 90 plus every outing. So it's a guy that is the workhorse of the staff. You heard Coach Skip Johnson talk about how great leadership, not just of how he acts and how he handles his business, but also how he takes care of the younger guys and teaches them the way, shows them how to work, because that's, to me, a lot of times what young guys don't understand is how hard it takes to be the guy that leads you off, right? That starter that's going to last the whole season.
Great breaking ball. Comes up with the strikeout, his 7th of the ball game. That's that slower of the 2 breaking balls. Flipped it in there and had him way out in front.
Yeah, we've seen it at 80. This is 78-mile-an-hour curveball, and you see how far out in front. And that, to me, is the mark of a good pitcher. You see the breaking ball in the zone. It doesn't bounce. You get the swing and miss. But he's adding and subtracting with multiple pitches. It's not just, okay, he goes fastball and then he slows it down with a changeup. He's throwing a harder breaking ball. He's throwing a slower, a bigger breaking one, a tighter one. And, I mean, the hitters don't know what to expect.
McCarthy steps in. Well, hitting is rhythm and timing, and he's disrupting that.
Big time.
Big swing and a miss for strike 1. The other thing is the young players get to see a guy like this that's been around. His routine. How does he prepare for each one of his starts? What he does away from game day. The 0-1. Hit pretty well to right, but playable. Over. Giving way to walk. It's Harris. And that ends the inning. Saturday, we'll have a baseball triple hitter on SEC Network. 10th ranked Georgia will take on 14th ranked Oklahoma right here at noon Eastern. Then number 5 Arkansas takes on Florida, and then we cap the day with number 9 Vanderbilt and number 23 Ole Miss from Oxford. All of that coming SEC Network on Saturday. So 2 outs here as Daniel Jackson will step in.
To add on, Keith, what we were talking about, it's anybody can watch how a guy's going to react after a game like this, right?
Yep.
It's the starts where you get your butt handed to you. You give up 6, 7, 8 runs, and what do you do that next day? Are you the same guy, go about your work? And that's exactly who he is, and that's what teaches the young guys as much as anything.
I totally agree. And they get into a rhythm. I mean, I'm not talking about just rhythm in a game as a pitcher. You do that, but the rhythm building up to your next start. What do you do for your team and your teammates when you're not starting?
Well, that's the tough part about a starter, right? Because you only get the chance to help your team one day a week. But in a sense of you have to take it as competition every single day you go to work. You know, your workouts, are you competing in that? Are you getting better every time you do your workouts? Your extra running, your arm care. Those are the things, your side work, your flat ground, your long toss. It's not just, oh, I'm not playing today and I just do some work. It's you got to put in quality work.
Chop foul. And that pitch right there was.
I saw the dugout chirping, and Kyson Witherspoon's on the mound like he's looking to the dugout. The Georgia Bulldogs were chirping a little bit. Next pitch, 99. Every fastball after that has been pretty much 98 or 99. So there's something in there, and you're talking, this is the 96 pitch. He's still pumping that kind of noise.
The payoff here, 3-2. Upstairs for ball 4. Only the second walk issued tonight by the Sooner right-hander. The guy that's seen the ball and had the best night is coming to the plate. Trey Phelps has homered, lined the double into left center. 97 total pitches. Go back to that 3rd inning as Phelps came to the plate. 3-2 pitch that he was setting all over.
And these 2 guys were teammates on the Team USA national team, the national college team, and I saw them smiling at each other, especially after the double. But you can imagine this is a spot where Phelps has gotten him twice. Kyson Witherspoon wants to get him back.
Tied him up. Tardy on that fastball. Wants to get some. The bat came out of his hands. Trying to get some spray stickum.
The way he's been hitting, this is a spot where you put a ball in the gap, you score a run from first, you're able to drive one over the fence like you did in the first one, you got a ball game.
Yeah, and the bullpen is up and tossing for the Sooners. The window is closing. The Oklahoma right-hander. Straight back. And it's quickly 0-2. 100th pitch of the night from Witherspoon. Slow breaking ball, chop foul. My partner looked at me and told me in between he thinks he's going to go to the slow breaking ball. That was a good call. It's only the third one he's thrown tonight.
I know. He left it a little bit up too, because he had him. The slowness makes that hitter want to go out there and get it right where you want to be. 66% strikes.
Pitch 101. Just misses. 1-2 now. Phelps. Throw over. The 1-2. Way outside, held on to that one too long. The wild pitch. Jackson down to second base.
I'm telling you, there's a different battle going on, right? We're seeing the battle of Oklahoma versus Georgia and pitcher versus hitter, but this is summer teammates versus each other. And the hitter has already gotten him twice. I'm telling you, this means something to Kyson Witherspoon. You're seeing him amp up a little bit.
He's grinding.
And
he knows his window is closing when this is over.
He doesn't just want to get him out. He wants to punch him out.
The 2-2. This is outside with a cutter. And from 0-2 to 3-2.
Exactly what he did in that first at bat. Put himself in a situation where he was able to get the fastball. Ball leaped back over the plate. He drove it over the trees.
Chopped on the ground, foul. It's a good at bat. This is a fun battle. A game is 27. You got to get 27 outs, but there's 27 battles to get those 27 outs.
And this has been a fun one to watch.
They're
all, some of the battles, you're like, oh, first pitch out, first pitch hit. Okay, but this is one of those where you could tell it's meaning something to each of them right now.
Pitch 105 from Witherspoon. Foul back. Nothing comes easy. Fifth foul ball of the at-bat. Ninth pitch of the at-bat coming. Got him with a heater at 98 miles an hour and out of the inning. 7 in the books.
Kyson Witherspoon absolutely rears back. I think he knows this is his last out because he stares down that Georgia dugout. 5-1 Sooners.
Bryce Harper and the Phillies take on Kyle Tucker from the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Our coverage begins 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific with baseball tonight, Sunday night countdown. And to the bullpen go the Georgia Bulldogs. Matthew Hopkins, he's a junior, Duluth, Georgia, 6'2", 208 pounds. This young man's got a good arm as well.
Good arm at that, right? Up to 98 miles an hour, and the stats are there. And that's why you see 32 punch-outs in 21 innings. Outstanding strikeout guy. Little bit too many walks, and that's where he's getting beat and where the runs are coming in. But you're talking about a guy with pure stuff. Matthew Hoskins is one of the best.
Hoskins into the game, excuse me. They will face 5, 6, and 7.
Talked about Wrigley Field and that thing we just saw against the Phillies. That was my favorite place to go. What was yours?
Well, I played there 8 seasons. So
Well, I know that, right? So
So it was a good place to be.
did you enjoy?
I enjoyed play there. It plays a little different when he's playing it every day. There's sometimes when you go in for a 3-game series, you think, God, this wind blows out every day, a lot of runs and everything's happened. But if you go in there in April, sometimes it's freezing cold and the wind's blowing off Lake Michigan. It's a tough place to play baseball.
I just grew up with WGN, watching the Cubs the whole time. You mentioned Ryan Sandberg. That was my favorite player. And so couldn't wait to get to Wrigley Field and just see what it was like and everything.
You
you
knew
think
you
of
were a
as
big
kid.
leaguer when you went into
Oh,
Wrigley.
man.
Breaking ball misses outside. I think there's 3 ballparks or 4 that when you broke in and got in, Yankee Stadium, I got to play in old Yankee Stadium.
I actually pitched in the last game. That was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Fenway Park, Dodger Stadium, and Wrigley Field. Shot foul.
I know this is probably a dumb question, but is the name inside the Green Monster? Did you sign the wall inside of it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I knew that was a dumb question, but
Yeah. I mean,
you have to.
you have to.
How about the Cubs this year, though? Leading the Central Division.
Off to a good start. Fouled away. Back out of play by Walk. 1-2. How about some of the new parks? Just getting back to what's going on now. Just misses with a break ball. Target Field's a special place. I think it's really cool. PNC at Pittsburgh, really with what they've done downtown and everything in Pittsburgh, it's
I don't know
another-
if there's a better backdrop when you see the lights lit up and everything about
it's
that.
cool.
I actually got to go to the new Rangers ballpark, Globe Life. First time I had gotten to see that. I went last week. Saw them play the Angels.
Globe Life,
It was weird to be
packed bells,
It
so
wa-
much different than Candlestick that
Right.
I played in.
it was weird to be inside. The roof was closed when I'm thinking Texas because the old ballpark at Arlington was outside, so hot, crazy temperatures there, and to be inside it just felt weird.
A nice at bat from Walk right there. Fought off a bunch of pitches and then just laced a 97-mile-an-hour fastball back up the middle. That's a good quality at bat. Kyle Branch, who's had a good ball game. Little brother. Shortstop Kobe for Georgia. He is 2 for 3 in this one. He has scored a run.
The best thing he did all day was that backhanded play up the middle. Forget what inning it was, but
Can hang a star
those are
on
just
that.
singles, right? And he made an amazing play.
That's nasty.
That's the old
Breaking ball.
equalizer.
And it from that arm slot, too. Steps back in with an 0-1 count. That one stays inside. Count evens at 1-1. Outfield straight away. Infield at double play depth. That ball gets away. Down to second base is Walk on the wild pitch. 2 brothers in the ball game. Lovejoy, Texas. Little brother's got the upper hand right now.
Little brother's out to prove. He's prove big brother. Hey, I can play too now.
Runner in scoring position with nobody out here in the top of the 8th. Sooners lead 5-1. Nice effort that you could see that effort to try to go the opposite field and move the runner. Offensive baseball, Lance, sometimes it's not about hits. It's about moving the runner.
We're just playing
and
the
getting
game.
the runner in from third. Little things.
That's right. Playing the game the right way, right? Doing unselfish things that help out the team.
Productive outs. Did he go? Yes, he did. That was a nasty breaking ball.
this is a pitch where you have the guy thinking go the other way, and you just kind of tease him a little bit. Put that slider on the outside part of the plate, thinking, oh, I got an easy ground ball over there, and that just darts out of the zone.
That is. Here comes the man of the match for the Sooners. He is 3 for 3. A couple of 2-run homers. First multiple home run game of the year. Second 3-hit game of the year. Career high in RBIs with 4 in a ball game. Career high with 2 home runs in a game. So he's had a career day. He's quickly down. Actually, count evens at 1-1. Steps back in. Foul down the left field line. That ball came off the bat at 100 miles an hour as well. It was the opposite field, but that was smoked.
Yeah, a defensive swing. Some days it's just like that, right? Everything you're doing is good.
It's barreled.
That's it. And for Oklahoma, every time he comes up, there's been on base, and it seems like he comes through, and that's why it's a 5-1 ball game. Sooners up.
The 1-2. That ball in the dirt. What a job of anticipation. Boy, Walk can really run. He anticipated that. As soon as that ball hit in the dirt, he was off.
And you have a team that wants to run, likes to run, but again, it's good base running. It's IQ seeing that, like you said, the anticipation of seeing the ball down and reading the dirt ball. And it's tough because on that turf, catchers can pick that ball a lot easier as opposed to the dirt, but they're still getting good jumps and getting that extra base, and now it gives the opportunity to score a run without getting a hit.
Infield is drawn up for Georgia. The 2-2. Chopped on the ground. Walk coming to the plate, bobbled by Burnett, and in to score is Walk. 6-1 Oklahoma.
Ricky, this is a big run right here. It's just doing your job, hitting the ball down, pulls it enough into the hole. Even if Burnett makes the play, you're still scoring, and now that makes it where a grand slam, one swing of the bat can't beat you.
Harris will step in. That goes as a base hit and a four-hit night for Dayton. Career night. He did go around. Did Harris. And it's 0-1. Chopped on the ground. Going to be tough to get an out. In time to get Harris. That was a fine play. Or Burnett that time to get an out. Got a player down. Guy has a career night, hits 2 homers. It must have been an odd slide at second base. And he can tell he's in pain.
Mm-hmm.
One of those scenarios where you're trying to go to second base, you're dodging. He was having to dodge. Burnett, who was coming to get the ball, as a runner, you can't interfere with the fielder. The fielder has the right to the ball. So I'm not sure what he was trying to do to get out of the way of that, but we'll get a chance to see a replay from a pretty wide angle here. You can see he was trying to, it was actually, he just was sliding, and I think he slid by the bag. And I think when he pushed off to get back to the bag is when the injury occurred.
Yeah, because he slides and it doesn't look like he does anything, but in the moment he goes past it, you could tell he was trying to get up. And
he's going to have to come out of the ball game. Not putting much weight on that right there.
I must say, somebody needs to help out.
Yeah.
Miss Melissa Hampton, the trainer, she's outstanding trainer, but she's like, yeah, this is a little tough for me.
Hope he's okay. What a ball game he had tonight. 4-hit night. Drove in 4, hit 2 homers. 4 for 4 night. And Brandon Kane will come on to be the pinch runner for Oklahoma. Kane is an infielder by trade, 5'11", 175-pounder. Transfer in from Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College, Mobile, Alabama native. He's into the game at second base. So Willis will step in. 0 for 3 on the night is Dawson. Breaking ball misses outside for ball 1. 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Oklahoma. 1-5-1 for Georgia. Challenged him, threw it by him. Count evens. We've seen some explosive arms here tonight. Breaking ball. Front door. Started out at the hitter and brought it back to the inside corner.
He's got the breaking ball to do it. It's got, you know, when you talk about the sweeper, he's got one of those where you can front door that to a righty a lot more often than he probably does.
The 1-2. Just gets a piece of it. See it bat alive. So 1-2. Steps back in. Popped up. Back into the stands. We'll do it again at 1-2. We're into the 8th inning in this game. We've had very few, if you think back, partner, we've had very few foul balls tonight. That tells guys have got good stuff on the mound. The foul balls have been little things around home plate. Right. Nothing up in the air, nothing just missed.
Kyson Witherspoon, what do we have, 15 swing and misses?
Yes. Breaking ball misses outside. I would think that the Sooners will be going to the this ball thrown back to second. That was a really nice job of getting that ball knocked down by Branch. Well, he couldn't see it. Right. The runner's right there, so he's just giving his body up to knock it down.
With the new rule where you have to make the throw, right? You can't not make the throw, because a lot of times you could just do that. All right, the guy wasn't going, you just wouldn't throw it. You don't have to throw it to second base. But now
this on the ground into right field. That'll bring a run home. Throw comes into third, gets up, and it gets away. Headed toward the plate, the throw to the plate, not in time. It scores 2 runs. What nice hustle to score the second run of the inning. A base hit to right field turns into 2 runs with runners at first and second.
I mean, Keith, right here, this is where the ball's just a routine hit, right? You're going to go first to third. Willis is doing that, and Daniel Jackson just sees it, trying to make the throw. There's no way you're throwing him out, and over sails the cutoff man, makes a bad throw, and then just you watch the speed of Oklahoma just really creating havoc. Dawson Willis goes from first to third on the era, and then home, making an 8-1 ball game.
And to the bullpen. Eight 1 now. Oklahoma out in front. We'll give you the new pitcher when we come back. Where? For this part of the country, important. Jalen Walker, an outstanding player for the Georgia Bulldogs, drafted by the Atlanta Falcons. He gets to stay in the state of Georgia.
Yeah, second player for Georgia drafted in the first round. Michael Williams went 11th to the 49ers, and how about 8 of the top 17 SEC draft picks?
Into the game comes the right-hander, Justin Bird, 6'2", 196-pound right-hander. Georgia native, transferred in from UFC Yankee. Out of the bullpen is Willits is at the plate. 1-0 pitch misses outside, and it's 2-0. See the numbers on the night. The Sooner shortstop 0 for 3 with a walk. The 2-0. Skied to left. Coming on is McCarthy. Puts it away, and that ends the inning. But a 3 spot for the Sooners in the top of the 8th. They lead 8-1. He was just outstanding. You can see the final numbers, 106 pitches, 7 innings of work, 1 earned run. He walked 2 and struck out 8.
And right there is his twin brother, and he said, you're going to see, for Georgia, you're going to see a lot of the same. It's the same type of stuff. Now, Kyson Witherspoon, his brother Malachi, velocity's pretty close. Kyson, like Coach Skip Johnson talks about, likes to be vertical. Malachi's more of the sinker, so he's looked to get a little bit more ground balls.
And then the senior from Magnolia, Texas, the left-hander James Hitt, transferred in from Texas Tech. He's a senior. This is his 19th appearance on the year. See a great ERA with 24 and a third innings of work, 26 strikeouts, only 8 walks. That's what you need coming out of the bullpen.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to be out there throwing strikes. It's fastball, 89 to 94, slider, curveball, changeup, throws a little cutter, but sometimes it's just a fastball that kind of cuts a little bit as opposed to the big breaking one. But this is a guy that he is the high leverage guy coming out of the bullpen, trying to get that ball to the closer, Mr. Crooks.
It's first pitch. He's in there for a strike. He'll face Henry Hunter. 8-9-1 due for Georgia here. Trailing 8-1. 8-10-0 for Oklahoma. 1-5-2 for Georgia. Downstairs. Count evens. Does it sink to that fastball?
Yeah, it's a lot of it's hard because it's fastball cutter mostly, almost 80% of the time.
Important end of the game because Hockey was injured in a slide at second base. What a night he had, though. 4 for 4 on the night. 2 homers on the ground. Quick throw across the diamond, not in time. Pulled him off the bag. And you got a new first baseman in the game. The first play, he gets tested.
A situation where Dawson Willis, they had to shift on, and he's basically playing shortstop. I thought that was a spot, too, though, Keith, where Horton didn't have to jump. See, that ball is basically at his neck if he's standing there, and if he's keeping his foot on the bag, he didn't have to worry about the tag.
Yeah, he's just into the game. You know, it's one of those things where all of a sudden you're thinking over there, I'm not going to play and do whatever, and then you're thrown right in the game. And we have a tendency, all players panic a little bit. E5 on the throw. Swing and a miss by Obi. You know, when you're starting a game, Lance, you pretty much start 2 hours earlier and you're getting yourself prepared. And some of that nervousness goes away. One of the toughest jobs. Pinch hitting is a tough job. Relieving is a tough job because you don't know when that telephone call is going to come and they're going to say, you're in there.
Right.
And
the defensive replacement?
Defensive replacement is the same way. You go, oh, okay, I'm ready. Quickly 0-2. Hit comes set. It's going back through the night. The great thing that Witherspoon, that's only the second batter that's reached base to lead off an inning for Georgia. You get the leadoff hitter in an inning out, you've got a great chance of throwing up a zero.
It's just tough to create offense when you already are down 1 out. And it seemed like early on, the moment Kyson Witherspoon had a guy on, those first 2 innings, he made the pitch he needed, got those 2 early double plays.
Yep.
And that's the part that, to me, let him settle in a little bit, battled, and then all of a sudden he got through the 5th, and it was lights out.
Obi steps back in. Fastball misses outside. And it's 2-2. On the ground, into right field. Nice piece of hitting right there, going with the fastball away from the left-hander. And a couple on. It's only the second time in the ball game that Georgia's had 2 runners on base in an inning.
Exactly what you want to do. Get some guys on at the bottom of the order and bring up the top of the order with men on base and give your big RBI guys opportunities to drive in runs. And with a lineup like this, again, it's a 7-run lead. Now, don't get me wrong, if you're Oklahoma, you feel really good, right? Because you have a really good bullpen. But still, if there's any lead that's not safe in a park that these Georgia Bulldogs love to hit in, it's this one, especially with the firepower that they have.
Branch will step in. Older brother, 0 for 3. If you're just tuning in, younger brother's out playing second base for Oklahoma. Wants to get a little payback here. 0 for 3 as he steps in. Just misses inside. Good location with that heater. Doesn't get the call. The count evens at 1-1. Bullpen up and tossing for Oklahoma. Downstairs. 2-1 now. The 2-1. Shot foul. We'll do it again. Veteran left-hander. Branch steps back in. Ball hit well to right with some carry. Just foul. enough out of the ballpark to right.
Colby Branch has hit one pulled home run foul. Now we have an Oppo home run foul. What the fans would say, hey, straighten it up.
Yeah, just that ball, I knew it had the distance. I'm sitting here watching it. A lot of times the ball the other way doesn't.
Right, flares out. That ball
Yeah.
was, on that upper part of the
Yeah,
new
hit that
stands
ball.
over there. It was way out of here.
He hit that ball a long ways. Count remains 2-2. Then changes speeds and gets the strikeout. Just enough off of that.
You mentioned location earlier. Location, location, location. The one right before this was a cutter up, a little backdoor cutter, 88 miles an hour. This one, the location down a couple inches and gets the swing and miss. Big out right there for James Hitt.
One gone here. 16 pitches into his outing. Still runners at first and second. Alford will step in. Singled his first time up. 1 for 3 tonight. Good swing, fouls it back. One of the best run producers. Alford has drove in 44 runs, Lance, and scored 49 runs. Run production.
When you see that from a guy that's hitting two-hole, you know that means you're getting good production from the bottom of the order like they have so far
Yeah.
in this inning. And then, yeah, the run scored when you have the 3-4 guys having the years they're having. They're driving you in. But when you can have those kind of RBIs, you're getting those big hits as well.
This ball hammered to short, bobbled. Can they get an out? Cannot there. Bases are loaded. Willits did everything he could do. He kept it in front of him. He can't hit it off his chest. That was a rocket right at him.
Yeah, Slade Alford. This is 110 off of the bat, and then it hits the wet turf. Just skips right off of Jackson Willits' chest. He had no play either place, right? I think he made his best option to try to flip the ball, but nice base running by Devin Obie to get there to make it where, hey, he's not going to get that easy out. And now it brings up Rylan Zaborowski with the bases loaded.
Young man has got great power. It's driven in 55, loaded with one out. Rifle down into the corner. This is going to go for extra bases. This is going to score 3. And it is an 8-4 ball game. Oklahoma gets 3 in the top of the inning. Bulldogs come right back.
Yeah, Cutter didn't quite cut too much of the middle, and Zaborowski does what he does best. Clears them for the Georgia Bulldogs. We got a game, I'm telling you. This is an offense that believes no lead is ever safe.
Still just one out in the inning here in the bottom of the 8th. Net will step in. He is 0 for 3. Lefty-lefty matchup here. First pitch in there for a strike. Bullpen is active for the Sooners. "17 homers on the year for the Bulldogs second baseman.
Burnett's hitting .452 at runners in scoring position. You see the 55 RBI opportunity right here to drive in another one.
Swings and comes up empty. How about that? I love hitting left-handed pitching. I mean,
You gotta put your money where your
Yeah,
mouth
that's
is.
exactly right. Because
Robbie's hitting 233. I don't know how much that is. He's crushing righties, but
the 1-2. This right at Willits, who makes the play. Hit it on the button. Second out of the inning, and a big one for the Sooners. They needed an out badly.
what's crazy how you talked about getting the leadoff guy out, right? That's what Kyson Witherspoon did a very nice job with. And how many innings, when you look up and you see those crooked numbers, start with either a leadoff walk or an error?
Yep, no question.
Even when guys get hits, it's okay, but like when you give the team a chance with that leadoff walk or an error, usually going to end up with a run scoring and usually a crooked number.
Crooked. This ball hit well into right. It's going to be down, and it's going to drive in a run. Go into second base, and all of a sudden it's an 8-5 ball game. A 4 spot for the Bulldogs.
Just good placement. Nice pitch off the end of the bat. You think he made a nice pitch and get an out, but playing deep out in the outfield, just drops right in, and Georgia gets another one, inches closer.
Going to make a move to the bullpen is Skip Johnson here. We'll give you the new pitcher when we come back. Georgia right back into the ball game with a 4 spot here in the bottom of the 8th. Well, a 4 spot here. And to the bullpen go the Sooners.
Yeah, Jason Bowden, 25 innings out of the bullpen. A lot of punch outs. The hits, though, a little too high. Love the strikeout to walk ratio. Fastball is going to be up to 96. Mixes in cutter, slider, curveball, change. When you're talking about, though, he is a predominantly, especially to lefties, fastball changeup, to righties, a little bit fastball slider.
8th batter of the inning is Daniel Jackson will step in with a runner at first base. And now what is an 8-5 ball game? First pitch, fastball, as you talked about, mid-90s for strike 1.
Opponent batting average 299 off of him. Goes up a little bit with runners in scoring position. He's got the job right here to just keep it where it's at. Get out of the inning.
Slider, did he go? He did not. And the count evens at 1-1. Jackson steps back in. Side, and it's 2-1.
You know, Daniel Jackson wants to make up for that errant throw he had. That was that the, I think that might have been the 8th run. That's the last run Oklahoma scored. So that error allowed Oklahoma to extend that lead to 7, and now Bulldogs have fought back.
This ball on the ground is short. Go to second, short way, and gets the 3rd out of the inning. We go to the 9th. It's now an 8-5 ball game.
Knows you get 3 and sweep, you're sitting at 13-8, and most people believe at 16 wins in conference, you're getting a chance to host. That's kind of the number that everybody's shooting for.
Break off the end of the bat, one of those unusual spins, but do get an out on it. Just to finish that about hosting, you look at that. A lot of SEC schools in there, but you look at Clemson at number 2. Oregon State's got a really good ball club. Even though they don't play in a conference, they still should be a top 8 national seed. At least, in my opinion, right now, they're one of the better teams in the country.
Yeah, when you looked at that, it was basically ACC, SEC in the top 11 outside of Oregon State. It was filled, I think it was 7 SEC and 3 ACC and Oregon State, which is obviously a place you don't want to go out there and play in Corvallis, Oregon. Outstanding baseball, just town. Love their Beavers.
Since steps in. He is 0 for 4 in this one as he steps in. Momentum definitely in the Georgia dugout right now. If they can throw a 0 up here, they're chasing 3 in the 9th. In the bottom. This ball just misses. If you're a college baseball fan, and I'm a huge fan, this time of the year is great because it's all the speculation. Where's everybody going to be?
That's our version of bracketology.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Chopped on the ground. Who's in? Who's out? And those hosts are so important because those top 16 all get to host a regional. And that just makes it different. And then the top 8, if they make it through a regional, they get to host the Super.
That's right. And if you look at most of those schools that are up there and you look at their series records at home, it's usually winning the series at home. So that's why you want to put yourself in a position to be able to host not only the regional but the super regional, thinking if you get an opportunity to play a super regional at home, you're probably making it to Omaha.
This ball hammered into right center with some carry. Off of the top of the wall, hits the very top into second base with a sliding double. You can't hit it any farther in this ballpark, and that is the 7th double of the year.
Well said right there. You definitely can't hit it any further. How unlucky is that for Sam Christensen? They're going to replay this. Looks like Oklahoma wants to. And this hits directly on top of the fence and shoots right back in.
Oh, that very easily could have gone the other direction. They may want to review this to see if it hit them outside of the fence. This is something they may want to review. Skip Johnson comes out and says, I'm going to use one of my challenges right here.
No, you can't take them home.
I can't, discuss this. Great view. They're going to say, nope, they don't believe it was out of the ballpark, and they're not going to review it. So a double here with one out. Walk comes to the plate. He scored twice. 1 for 4 on the night. Richardson from second base. Breaking ball downstairs for ball 1. Just to finish out our talk about regionals and supers, the last thing is these teams in the SEC, you think you made a good point. 30-game SEC schedule. You found a way to be 16, win 16 games in the SEC. You got a great chance of hosting.
Well, and they also believe, you talk to all these coaches, they believe that the 10 weekends of conference play basically set them up because it's almost like 10 super regional weekends.
Now, they're playing a really good team
Right.
every week. Nice job, Redder, getting over, fielding his position. Moving up to third is Christensen, so 2 gone here. For Branch, 2 for 4 on the night. Kyle Branch will step in. He singled and scored. Singled and stranded at third. Grounded out and struck out. Bird's first pitch misses outside for ball 1. The 1-0. Good hitters count now, 2-0.
Situation where I'm not saying you're pitching around. You got an open base. You got a guy on deck that hasn't had an opportunity to hit yet, so not as comfortable as a guy like Kyle Branch. So you're being smart right here, 2-0.
Two-0 breaking ball, 3 in a row, 3 breaking balls in a row. Branch family. Do you make two different hats? Or do you just say branch on the head?
It's just a branch hat.
Yeah. The uniforms are split.
Oh, yeah, the branch, and you got OU on one side and
Yeah.
UGA on the other.
Did he go? Yes, he did. And it's 3-2 now. I almost feel like you get that momentum changed if you can find a way to come up with a run right here if you're Oklahoma. On the other side, well, you need this out if you're the Bulldogs. The payoff. Tried to check his swing. It would have been ball 4. Steps back in. Popped up. Not a lot of room here at Foley Field. Just against the screen. We'll do it again.
Oh, gamesmanship, Keith. OU's coaching staff on the front step just kind of stood there and didn't quite get out of the way. Like, yeah, stay out of the dugout. We don't need you to catch this one.
So we'll do it again. Just gets a piece of it again on another breaking ball. See it bat alive. Set to go again. Likes the second ball, 9th pitch of the at-bat coming. Checks the runner. This ball hit well to center with some carry, but playable. Will be back, puts it away. 3 outs left in the ball game. Georgia down 3. In the SEC, Crooks Sr., Euless, Texas. He's been outstanding on the season. He's got some incredible numbers. Is what he's been able to do. A 1.31 ERA in all the games with 9 saves. This is his 16th appearance.
20 innings, 20 punch outs, right where you want to be. Only 14 hits. Teams are hitting 189 off of him. It's fastball, again, 93 to 95. It's like a broken record. Everybody's in the mid-90s. Mostly fastball, slider. Mixes in the changeup every now and then to lefties, but you're going to see a lot of fastballs and a little bit more of the side angle, so he's going to be using some sink.
First pitch fastball in there for Phelps. He's had a good ball game. He's 2 for 3. He's homered. He's doubled. 7, 8, 9 due for Georgia here in the bottom of the 9th. Hardest outs to get. 25, 26, and 27.
Yeah. That's how you make an adjustment, right? Tough year. I guess you wouldn't say tough year, but out of the bullpen, 4-1, not where you wanted to be, but man, this is why he's in the closer role, that 1.3 ERA, throwing more strikes, trusting all of the pitches and not trying to rely on just the fastball.
Right there, 1-1 breaking ball for a strike. Steps back in. Cook set. Got him with a slider for the strikeout. Boy, ball hit. Quick bite to it.
Yeah, some of these days where it's just sharp, right? Looks like it's a fastball on the outside part of the plate. Right when the hitter starts to swing, that's when it starts to make its little turn off. You get that tight slider. It's tough to lay off of.
10th strikeout of the ball game by Sooner pitching. As Henry Hunter will step in from the left side. Reached on an error and scored. He's walked and lined out. Back out of play. Sooner right-hander ahead 0-1.
Keith, what's your thought on that as a hitter, right? I was always thought interior, the tying run you take till you get a strike in that last inning, right?
Great story. I'm late in my career. Go to get traded to play for Sparky Anderson and the Detroit Tigers. And the first thing he says to me is, he says, we play a special way here. And I said, Coach, what do you mean? He said, if you're not the tying run, we're taking a strike in 8th and 9th. And I said, that's the way I've always been taught.
Right, I mean, that's the beauty of being that closer. You know, especially in a situation like this, right? It's still a safe situation. That's why Crooks is in the game. And you're thinking, hey, you throw that fastball pretty much middle just because you know these guys are going to be taken.
Fastball misses up and away.
But Hunter went up and hacked it.
Now, down a run.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a little different.
There's a different story. One swing can get it all tied up. This ball skied a mile high, but it'll stay in the ballpark. And a nice running catch to put it away by Walk. He went a long way for that. He was the last guy to call it. Put it down, and the Bulldogs down to their final out.
Center fielder taking control. We got the best angle coming in on it.
Devin Obie will step in. He singled his last time up. He's had a good ball game, 2 for 3 on the night. He steps in. Fastball outside corner with some giddy up on it. This ball down the right field line. It's going to go for extra bases. Obie rounds first on his way to second with a 2-out double. 5th of the year for Obie. And back to the top of the order.
Crooks went back-to-back. The fastball down and away. It was a beautiful pitch right before that, and hits the same exact spot. And Obie just shoots it inside the bag. I love the way he slid. He made sure he was not sliding past second base again.
3-hit night for Devin. Back to the top of the order. For Branch, who is 0 for 4. It's been a tough night. Love to keep the game going right here. An 8-5 ball game. Breaking ball misses for ball 1. Tying run now in the on-deck circle for the Bulldogs. Challenging, threw it by him. The count evens at 1-1.
And see, this is what you're talking about, right? If you're not the tying run, that's 2-0. That's a fastball up out of the zone. You take that, you're now 2-0 because you got to do anything and everything you can to get on to bring up that tying run.
Ball back. Georgia again down to their final strike. One and two now. Crooks set. Chop foul at the plate. Branch lives to see another pitch. 16th pitch of the appearance right here for the Oklahoma reliever. Comes set. The 1-2 again. Down and away. And it's 2-2. It's 25, 26, and 27 are hard outs. The 2-2. Slider just misses. And the count is full. This ball into center for a base hit. This will score a run. And the tying run will come to the plate. As Branch singles to center to drive in Obi.
Nice job right here by Kobe Branch. That's a ball out of the zone. That might even been ball 4. It goes out, gets it, shoots it into center field, and just pass the baton on to the next guy. Slade Alford's a guy that we mentioned last series was hot. 27 straight games he's been on base. So, you know, one of the better hitters in the lineup, feeling good. And like you said, Keith, tying run to the plate.
Yeah, the tying run to the plate, and these next two guys between them hit the ball in the ballpark. Alford has had a big night. He's 2 for 4. He's scored a run. He comes on here with Branch at first base. Crooks set. Great pitch. Right on the outside corner. This ball hammered down the left field line, but hooked foul. That would have tied it up.
I'm going to say he's not throwing that one again. Look at feed the trees. They're wanting it. They're wanting it. The head was out, but a little too far out, and that ball hooked quickly.
Quickly down 0-2 now. Right field. Will it stay in the ballpark? Fading, just out of play. We'll do it again 0-2.
Once you get past Slade Alford, you got Zaborowski and Burnett, you know, back there. So easily one swing of the bat can either tie it if Alford gets on, could win it.
Looking in for his sign. Set the 0-2 with 2 outs. Breaking ball just misses. And it's 1-2. Comes set. Just gets a piece of it, keeps the at-bat alive. It's tough to get those final outs.
That's all right there. Easton Carmichael, Oklahoma's catcher, that foul ball, he right off the tip of his glove, and he's pumping his fist like, gosh, I should have caught that. You know, we talk about game of inches. He catches that ball, game over.
Yep.
Who knows what the next pitch goes, but it misses it, and now you got to do it again.
The 1-2. Fouled off again. Went with the fastball. Really good at bat here.
If you're Crooks, you're wanting this pitch to be it, right? You don't want to get yourself into a 2-2 situation, even chance for a 3-2, because then you become a lot more predictable.
25th pitch of the inning.
Right, and this is a, even if it doesn't go good for Georgia to finish it off, they've gotten deep for him into the game, which is going to affect possible outings in the future, whether it's
Of the
tomorrow,
weekend,
right,
yes.
or Saturday.
Slider misses. And it's 2-2. Fastball. Crooks thought he had it, didn't get the call. Runner will be off here.
And this is where you still got to know as a base runner, right? Your run means something, but it doesn't mean that much, because you cannot get thrown out on the bases and take the game away from your 3-hole hitter. So station to station is still okay.
9th pitch of the at-bat coming here. The payoff. Fouled off. We'll do it again.
And this is where I feel like the hitter is in control, because he was down 0-2. He's fouled off. He's barreling balls now. So to me, he's got the confidence. You see his confidence as he swings. He's looking into the dugout, pumping
Seeing
his
each
chest.
release
Yep.
point. Each
Yep.
release point. He's laid off 2 sliders. See what happens here. Set. The 3-2 again. Got him on a fastball away, and the Sooners win game 1.
Just rear back, let it eat, right? 93 on the outside part of the plate. Trust the old number 1, exactly what Dylan Crooks does. Picks up save number 10 on the year.
Well, you just go back to it. What he went to the fastball.
Well, like you mentioned, he had laid off 2 really good sliders and had fouled off some fastballs, but he goes right there. If you're able to take that, that's ball 4. But when you get into a situation, into the ball game, 3-2, a good pitcher, he does a good job, challenging him with the heater, he gets the punch out.
Final score, Sooners come into game 1 of this 3-game set and win it 8-6.